All right. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of normally Tyranny of Dragons, but we're doing something weird for a couple of weeks because they've been playing together for over a year. Yay! We originally started off as a one-shot due to the fact that I have no ability to actually adhere to a timetable. Has turned into, I think this is the third episode of this kind of side story that has nothing to do with the campaign at all. It's just silly and weird and uses weird mechanics and is based on Final Fantasy. Speaking of which, I gotta have the music. Because yeah, that's how my brain works. So anyway, yeah, that's what we're doing today to kind of bring you guys up to speed. These, what used to be my phone, they found a secret. There we go. We'll move that. What used to be 6 and now is 5. People all got together around the city of Tycoon to figure out why weird things are happening with the air. They found out that somebody in Karnak had developed these machines to amplify the power of the crystals, but it had this nasty side effect of destroying the crystals, which is what regulates the 4 elements of air, water, fire, and earth. So, yeah, they went to try and stop the wind crystal from shattering. That didn't work. They made it to Walls, the city that protects the water crystal. Had this really cool underwater fight that the DM spent a lot of time planning and put these majestic killer whales in there, which are they're actually called orca, and they're dolphins. You know, instead of actual whale, like they're actual, you know, close related to dolphins, which are these majestic magical creatures that are actually the second smartest creatures on the planet. And then they tell us this so long and thanks for all the fish, and these guys just took all the water from them and left them flopping on the floor because they're monsters.
Using Van Hohenheim's patented cube of air.
Yeah. Patent pending. So yeah, that went well. But after doing that, they were still unable to stop the water crystal from shattering. And so yeah, now John has something wrong with him that he doesn't know what it is. But it hasn't been fun. And now he has to keep himself wet or he'll die. And I can't remember her character's name. Does anyone remember what Sam's character's name was? Anyway, she decides, you know what? This has been fun, but we failed twice. I'm going to head back to Tycoon, which is where she was originally from, and see if I can implore the air spirits to help us in our fight. Because obviously, you know, traveling with you guys has just ended up destroying 2 crystals. So she's gone. She gives her crystal shards to you guys. And yeah, you guys are now... mere moments have passed since the tower itself raised back to the surface. Yeah, what do you guys want to do?
I want to use the cleric crystal, and since it worked on me, I want to do, at least if I'm remembering correctly, I want to cast Lesser Restoration on John.
Okay. Hold, please.
And I'm just like taking a bath in the fountain. In my new cleric, in my new form. As Kusif.
So what level spell are you casting it?
Lesser Restoration, and it's just level 2.
Okay. So as you sit there, and you guys watch as Samuel comes up and transforms into this cleric figure, comes over and casts a spell, and you see this light kind of wash over John, and nothing happens. He's still... John, right now your skin is really, really slimy and slick, but it dries out very, very quickly. And you've already noticed that if it gets too dry, after about 10 minutes, if it gets too dry, you start... maybe it's not too...
I think I take.
Every 10 minutes or so, basically your skin starts to eat itself.
Well, I take a flask and I swig as I'm in my normal form, and I was just like, I have an idea. We're going to... Could one of you get one of the guards or something to get me a pretty decently sized watering pail?
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna start casting everything I can on him to try and get rid of it. So dispel magic, Lesser Restoration at 4th level. I mean, the other alternative is Death Ward, and we just kill him.
You know what? I'm gonna take give me a second. I turn into Ernest, and I'm just like, I'm gonna look over him because I know the creature said its name was an aboleth. So I'm just gonna try and rack Ernest's brain to see if he knows anything about this.
Sure. Roll me an Arcana check.
That's pretty good. Where is Ernest's Arcana score? Arcana 19.
So kind of examining him and using your own knowledge of how magic in general works in magical creatures, you remember reading, or this, it's really weird because you can remember reading these books in a library, but you have no idea where it is. But beyond a shadow of a doubt, you remember reading these books. And one of them mentioned that the aboleth can cause a disease that causes you basically to perspire acid that after about 10 minutes gets concentrated enough that it starts eating through your skin. And the disease is so powerful that only a heal spell or other 6th level magical spell that can cure diseases can actually fix it.
Oh, that's easy. Certainly, somebody here has a 6th level heal spell. Anyone?
I'm gonna ask our wizard. Does death fix it?
I mean,
whoa, hey, whoa! Let's not be hasty here.
I don't think so.
With a 19, you got no idea if killing him would... Well, you think if he died, he probably would not continue taking acid damage. However, you have no idea if resurrecting him would
Work.
Stop him from basically sweating acid.
Well, just to play it safe until we can find somebody, I'll just cast Death Ward on him just to play it safe. It'll last for 8 hours.
Okay, I'm going to run out to see if I can find anybody and ask for a watering pail.
The tower itself, now, you guys are going to have to remind me because my memory is just worthless right now. If I remember correctly, the tower itself was pretty significantly underneath the palace, the water palace.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
it was. As
even
part
with
of the
it
defense,
rising out of the water, you guys are still underground, and the only 2 people, because you're basically in the middle of this underground cavern with a lake in it, and the only 2 people other than the party that are there are the 2 guards that kind of let you down, and they're on the exact opposite side of the cavern, which is now at the bottom of the tower, and you guys are at the top. So as far as like just running out of the room, there's nobody there. You'd have to go all the way down the tower and then go out.
Oh, it was nice knowing you, John. We tried.
Well, in that case,
Does anybody have a large jug?
I don't think so. I start looking through my pack.
So,
Okay, here we go. How big is John?
Well, he's a human.
Sorry?
If I reduced you to about an eighth of your size, could you fit in something I could put water in?
So we'd have a huge fish tank.
no.
Well,
Well-
if we think about him as, let's say, on average, 6 foot, easy number. 6 divided by 8 is what? It's under a foot.
I mean, it's either that or we have something that can continuously pour water on you, and I
Yeah,
could
he'd
just
basically become 9 inches tall.
No.
I could
Sorry.
ritually
Not that
sum.
big.
Does somebody have a
Going
pot?
on.
Like
I could
cookware?
I could ritually summon an unseen servant and have him constantly water you, but those are my two ideas.
I could do that too. But if you shrink me, I can cast Unseen Servant. If we had like a glass or something that I could fit into, like a pot for cooking, the Unseen Servant could just carry me around.
Juice also only lasts a minute, so
Ooh, well, that's not good.
Going on. Have your idea. Drinking him. Do we know it?
Oh, wait. I do have an idea.
Do we
I do
know it? The crystals were like a gnome halfling.
The
I do.
monk is a gnome.
I do have an idea though. I take out my herbalist kit and I get like a pretty big bottle with a cap on it. I fill it with water, and then I touch John, and I turn him into a minnow with polymorph.
Wait, I turned into what?
A minnow. Now swim in here.
For vacation.
I get him into the little glass container, and I'm just like, okay, let's go.
All right, we'll
All
go.
right. So, yeah.
Okay.
We have an hour.
So making it to the bottom of the tower takes like 10 minutes-ish. As you come out, you see the two guards kind of rowing up to the tower itself. Going, well, did you save the crystal?
No. No,
Yeah.
it was too late. We were too late.
Really distraught. The king will want to know. Come with us. And they just kind of gesture for you to get in the boat. Which as of right now is the only way across the water.
Yeah.
Unless you want to swim.
Well, Zarkan.
About how long does that take?
To get across the water?
Yeah.
Another 5-10 minutes.
Okay. We're still at 15-20 minutes.
You know it didn't take you an hour to get down here. You think like the whole, ride back up to see the king, you're probably looking at about maybe 45 minutes to get all the way to being in an audience with the king.
One of the guards, I'm like, when we get there, could you get me a gardening pail, large one, fill it with water? I'm still in my
Just kinda
Goliath form.
looks at you.
We need it.
And he goes back to rowing the boat. Like I said, it takes you guys roughly about 45 minutes to get to the king. When you get there, the king is sitting in his throne, and he, as you come in, he goes, "I believe I know what has befallen the crystal. The tides have stopped changing. The waters and the waves are no more. I fear the water crystal is now gone."
You are correct, you better we arrived too late to save it.
And he kind of turns to the advisor. "Nothing wrong. What were you thinking? We are now completely powerless. Our navy can do nothing to stop Karnak from taking over the world with the power of their crystal. This was sabotage. That's what it was. That scientist from Karnak who gave us the machine taught us how it worked. He did this on purpose. Well, we will not go silently into the night. Guards!" And you see the room rather quickly fill with guards wearing the mantle of the Kingdom of Walls. "Arrest these traitors. They are obviously in league with Khan. After we torture them for all the information we need, you have my permission to dispose of them in whatever way you feel is best." About this time, Carrick, you start noticing your minnow is getting larger.
I pour him out.
I leap out. Can I, as a bonus action, I'd like to change my crystal
Okay.
into my bard form
Okay.
and cast. Oh no, that won't work.
As you jump out, the guards, sensing something happening, immediately rush in and level tridents at all of you, while a few of the guards on the outside level crossbows down, aiming at the party. In all, you think there's about 20 guards, all kind of pointing sharp things at you.
We had nothing to do with this.
Nothing.
We tried
do.
to save the crystal. We tried to save the crystal.
You come to my kingdom. Tell me about how my crystal is going to be destroyed, even though the entirety of my scientists had no idea this could even happen. And then magically, while you are here, the crystal is destroyed. And you
Your
want me
Grace.
to believe that was simply by coincidence.
Do you think if we were truly behind it, we would have even told you? Try to warn you?
Perhaps there was something you needed to do to destroy the crystal.
And
My
we
guards
were
have already told me
We
you
wouldn't
convinced them
you
to leave you alone with the crystal. The only people that know what happened in that room are you. What would you do in my position? The entirety of the power of my navy is worthless. My kingdom could be under siege. in a matter of moments, and we would
Yeah,
be powerless
so
to stop
goodbye.
it.
Under
So
siege by the people who
goodbye.
gave you the machines and the technology that did this. We were here with you in this room when the temple's failsafe was triggered. Were we not? We had nothing to do with that. There was some beast, and I think someone said it was an aboleth, that was in there, along with 3 monstrous killer whales.
Such
That we were
noble
barely able to defeat.
creatures, and
Very
I assume
noble.
you slew them.
Yes, we did. Because
I've
they
heard
were
enough.
attacking.
Gods,
They were
take them away.
under the control of the aboleth.
And as you attempt to keep talking, you are kind of grabbed and forced out of the room. As you guys are being kind of poked and prodded down kind of like blind alley after blind staircase, just these weird passages that just seem so far outside the normal realm of where people go in the castle. You eventually get down to a level that smells very kind of dank and musty. And you guys are all thrown into 3 cells. Carrick and John, you're in 1 cell. Samuel and Kyron, you are in the next cell over. And Arian, you are in the 3rd cell. What would you all like to do?
Did they take all of our stuff?
Kind of. They attempted to take, like, your weapons. Like, any of you guys that are still transformed, they attempted to take away any weapons or things like that that you had. But as soon as they removed them from your person, they kind of vanished. So, who all is actually in a transformed state right now?
I am.
I am.
All right, let me rephrase that. Is anyone not currently transformed?
John is not.
Okay. So, John, you are the only person that is basically down there without any manacles or anything like that. You're just in your street clothes. The rest of you guys are bound. Your hands and fingers are tied in a way that prevent you from casting any sort of magical spells. And the weapons that you have kind of been bound into their scabbards as much as they could. Because taking the items off you just was not doing anything.
Is there anybody watching us at this point?
At this point, there is not.
What are the manacles
You get
made
the
out
idea
of?
that this is a place where they send people that they just want to forget about. There are skeletons in each of the cells that have been there for decades, maybe. You have no idea.
So we are manacles.
I'm sorry, say again?
Did you say we're manacles?
Yes. The only person that isn't is John.
What are the manacles made out of?
Just standard iron.
Iron?
I mean, why not? I'll try to break out. I'll just try to, like, Hulk my way out. Won't work, but I'll try.
All right. Make me a strength athletics check, please.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a whopping 2 plus 2.
I'm gonna try. Same thing.
So you guys watch as, was it Samuel? You were the one that's trying to break out?
Yeah.
So you guys watch as Samuel sits there and goes, nothing.
I'm gonna try the same thing because that's what I had my idea.
Okay.
That's a 21.
All right. So Samuel, as you're sitting there, and you start wrapping it around the bars to see if you can get different leverage, and then you go over to Chiron. You're like, hey, Chiron, just hold it. While all this is happening, Carrick just kind of comes over to the bars, watches as Samuel is struggling, and very nonchalantly snaps his manacles and kind of reaches through to see if he can help Samuel.
Because I am a Goliath wizard.
Hey, I turned to Carrick. Hey, Carrick, can you do me a favor? And I use the crystal to turn it into the warlock.
Okay.
And I just tell him, punch me in the face.
Okay. I punch him in the face.
Make an attack roll.
Okay. So this
I'm
is
going to say I'm
20
going to give
plus.
you advantage because John is not trying to stop this whatsoever.
That's a 17.
John, your armor class?
Is less than 17, I believe.
Okay.
It's 12.
You take 4 damage because I am a bulky wizard.
Excellent. I use Misty Escape to teleport 60 feet out into the hallway.
So you can
And I just become invisible.
as John, like, Carrot comes up and just plows John right in the face. And as soon as you connect with him, you feel the crunching of bones underneath your fist, and then you watch him just go pew, and he's nowhere to be seen.
Oh, I think I can do that too. And I take the paladin crystal that I took from Ray earlier. Took from, I forget her name, but I turned into Ray, the whore paladin, and I cast Misty Step and step out into where John poofed into.
You actually cannot see John. He has simply disappeared.
Oh.
About 6 seconds later, a female appears holding a lute with red hair. I
Now
use
you
my
see-
bonus action.
Wow, you are
to-
prepared
into
for
my
everything.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like, I can do that too. Turn into Ray, Misty Step into the
Well-
outside.
While
you
they're
have
having
to
a
be
party-
able to- oh, you've already broken.
Yeah,
your-
right,
so you're
right,
fine.
While they're having a party, I turn to Chiron and be like, it must be nice being able to do things.
I have an idea.
yeah.
I'll activate the barbarian crystal.
Okay.
I will, since I believe he's what is he?
He's an orc, I think.
Orc. So would that break the manacles just from growing?
Human to orc is not that big. They've become probably uncomfortably tight around your wrists.
Oh, okay.
But half orcs are not that much bigger than humans.
Okay.
And technically,
Oh,
if you're a full orc, you're technically a little bit smaller than a human. Not by much, but
All right.
they're built a little bit shorter.
And I'll try and break the manacles with the.
All right, strength athletics check, please.
Can I give him inspiration?
Oh, you don't need to. Don't worry about it. 17. It was you said which one was it?
Strength
Athletics.
Straight athletic.
Being a barbarian, you should be good at this.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to do math. 25.
So as you guys watch Chiron kind of transform, as he transforms, he just goes, smashes his manacles. Oh, I just realized your hands are tied in a way, and your fingers are tied in a way that you can't really grab onto the crystal in order to transform. I need a dexterity acrobatics check
Okay.
in your human form.
I was still the druid. So do the
Oh, so
druid
the
first.
Druid. Never mind. Yeah, dexterity acrobatics in the druid form
Okay.
to see if you can get to the other crystal, and that would be made with disadvantage.
Oh, wait. Okay. Well, both the exact same roll, so that would be a 7.
So ignore what I just said.
Yeah.
You sit there and you try and twist and turn to get to a point where you can grab onto another crystal, and you can't. The way that you have been bound is just not working.
I'm just gonna walk to the bars and just kind of put my arms out. Not even saying anything, just put my arms out.
I in. What are you doing, Aaron?
Well, they're doing that. The rogue is a female, so I wanna try to do the whole thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Again, because you're bound, you're still gonna have to make an acrobatics check to see if you can get it. But getting to your hair, I think it'd be slightly easier than getting to a belt pouch.
Yeah.
So just do a straight up dexterity acrobatics check.
21.
That's a failure. I'm sorry. Yeah, you have no problem getting that. Make your lockpick check or a thieves' tools check.
What? Without the
It'd be your dexterity plus your proficiency bonus. And then look on the character sheet. Rogues have, what do they call it? Specialty or expertise.
Expertise.
Check to see if thieves' tools is one of your expertise. Okay, so yeah, you're proficient in it, so it'll just be your dex mod plus your proficiency bonus. It takes you a little bit of time, but eventually you hear a click, and the manacles come off. Once the manacles are off, kind of unwrapping and untying your hands becomes a much more simple process. But it's still something, if you want to do that, you're going to have to roll for it.
Yep. 21.
Yeah, you just shh. You're out, just kind of leaning back, putting your hairpin back in place, watching Chiron like just squirm and move around, trying to get to one of his crystals.
As Samuel sticks his hands out, I turn back into Ernest. With my Goliath hand, I grab his bindings, and I'm going to try and snap them.
All right, make me strength athletics check.
That's a 14.
Okay. Samuel, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, we'll see.
Oh, no, wait, that's... yeah, no, it's 14. Keep going.
Okay, plus 2. 11.
Alright, I have to find my dice now. I haven't had to roll yet.
Boy.
You break his arm.
You are now down a party member. You take 1 bludgeoning damage as Carrot comes up and slams you into the cage wall as he snaps the manacles in half. So you now have the manacles off. Your hands or your fingers are still tied, but the manacles themselves are off.
I'll try and get the rope.
So dexterity acrobatics check.
And I'll stick my hands out for Carrick as well.
Yeah, 14.
Takes you a little bit longer. It takes you another 10 minutes to do it, but you eventually work your way out.
All right, same treatment to Chiron.
Go for it.
Now, am I alone or do I have someone with me?
You are in your own cage area.
That's a
But
16.
there's just a set of bars between you and Samuel and Chiron's cage. So you can see them. And then obviously John and Carrick are out in the hallway.
That's
You
a
can see them
16.
too. So what was it, Carrick?
16.
Okay. Constitution saving throw, Chiron.
Well, 14.
Alright. Man, I'm rolling awesome. Another 1 bludgeoning damage as he slams you into the cage.
Cool.
But you are now, the only thing you have left on you is the thing tying your fingers together.
I'll start working on that.
Okay, so dexterity acrobatics.
20. Not natural.
You, within about, less than 5 minutes, you're out.
Isn't it nice having a muscle-bound wizard?
Now
Yeah. As I
yeah,
rub my
by
face.
way of my kids.
Yes,
You'll have to
delightful.
pick the lock on the cell. But
Well-
something tells me you're not going to have an issue with that.
While he's
Yeah.
doing that, I'm gonna switch to the sorcerer and just dimension door me and Kyron out of the cell.
And that's so funny.
So, Arian, you watch as Samuel goes up to Chiron and goes, put her there, and just hugs him, and then they disappear and reappear on the other side. After seeing that, you guys watch Arian come around with this kind of sexy walk and just kind of comes up to the door, bumps the lock with his hip, and the door just swings open, and he walks out.
Huh.
Oh,
Three
I
uses
appreciate
of-
that.
3 uses of teleportation and 1 manual way. I like that.
Okay, so now how do we get out of here?
Yeah, you guys are in the depths of the. You're technically underneath the water palace.
Hmm.
As we're walking around, and just if I get any sense of any of the guards walking around, I'm gonna use disguise self to look like one of the guards from the throne room while we're walking around.
All right, I'll keep that in mind, but you are going to have to kind of, unless you're casting it right now, you're going to have to kind of make that decision when you guys actually encounter a guard. So
I look around. Is everybody in the same form we were when we were arrested, or has everybody changed to a different form?
I'm still the druid.
I'm different.
yeah,
I think we
Samuel's
should all-
changed, Carrick's changed.
I think everyone should change. That way we can just say we got lost.
Well, they've
And I can
never-
attempt to convince
I-
the gods.
I believe they've never seen Ray, so I turn from character Ray.
And I know they've never seen me.
Wasn't Sam Ray when we met the king?
I don't think.
I don't remember.
Well, I know they
have
didn't
no
see the
idea.
sorcerer, so I know they didn't see the sorcerer. They saw the cleric,
You
so
guys
I'm just
do
saying
know
sorcerer.
that you are past the point where tourists would be in the castle. So, if anyone spots you, they're going to know you don't belong there. And I believe during your audience with the king, he did see you. Well, he's seen John specifically transformed from a fish. By the way, John, with it being 10 minutes,
Oh.
his skin starts to eat itself, and you take 8 acid damage.
8?
Yeah, mean.
D12 per 10 minutes without water.
I am going to go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
With druid craft, can I druid craft water, or is it specifically plants?
That is a good question.
Ooh.
Well, my suggestion is that we kill every guard we come across.
I think I might take it. That sounds away from me.
Do we know if we still have our boats?
I don't think we're near the boats anymore.
Because since it's travels by special means, I think we could still use it without the waves.
Oh, that
Yeah,
boat.
Druidcraft can't create water, unfortunately.
Okay, well, there goes that idea.
However, you can create a small puff of wind if you'd like to dry him out faster.
Cool. Good idea.
No. Ooh, I can do math. No, I think if we find the gods, I can use my charming personality. I think I can cast charm on them.
All right, well, let's just
Oh.
start heading towards the
Never a good
boat.
idea. Then.
Yeah,
It's a big
I
F.
think that how we can do it now.
It's a
Okay.
real big if.
So you guys start heading for the stairs.
We stealth towards the stairs while keeping an eye out for the guards.
All right. I need everyone to roll me stealth checks.
Before we do that, does the wizard have invisibility?
I don't have the spell slots for greater invisibility right now,
No.
and
Just do you have invisibility?
no.
Okay, because I can make 3 of us invisible max.
Now, if
I believe my warlock has invisibility.
half the other three concentration,
Kind of armor.
It is.
Yeah, I'd
so,
lose Death Ward, but whatever.
so would it be possible for me to change it in a razor?
I can also disguise myself to look like a. Actually, yeah, I turned back into my warlock and used disguise self to make myself look like a guard.
Yes, you could, Arian. It would take 10, 12 to 18 seconds to be able to pull that off. But yeah, that is totally possible with the crazy rules we're using right now.
Okay.
I think I'll hold off. Oh, invisibility lasts for an hour, and I don't think it'll take us an hour to get to the boats.
Better hope
Unless we-
not, because every 10 minutes, John's
Yeah.
dead, so
So,
So
when we're ready to...
do you guys want me to cast Panther over three?
Yes, because we still make sound while invisible, and 2 of you aren't going to be invisible.
Alright, so I
I have pretty.
need it ready to cast and then sit back in the boat.
I have pretty stacked health, so I don't have to be really invisible right now.
okay. So you guys
And
watch
I've-
as Arian transforms into his ranger-like form, and then you guys see him kind of concentrate, and the sound around you starts to kind of lessen. You notice that your footprints vanish on the ground, especially John, who is now kind of leaving these slimy footprints. They just kind of disappear. And then Arian turns back into his badass rogue self. And yeah, so I still need stealth checks from everyone, but add 10 to your.
Alright.
I turn myself into the warlock, disguise myself as a guard, and then turn back into the bard.
Okay.
And do this 4th level spell slot I use on the cleric, does that carry over to being used on the sorcerer?
Yeah, any spell casting,
Okay.
just keep track of how many slots you've used, because that will carry over until long rests.
So then I just think Carrick and I need invisibility then? Because Kyron, you didn't want it?
I don't need to. Yeah, no. I'm good.
Alright, so I'll just do it on me and Kyron, or me and
Okay.
Carrick.
Okay.
What about Aaron?
So it's just a straight roll now. Okay.
Oh no.
Are you going to leave Arian visible or no?
Oh, I can make you invisible too. I'll be out of 4th level. Okay. Does
So,
invisibility give advantage? Can't remember.
Sure.
yeah, it does.
I'll say it does.
So I'm in Ray, which meant because she has plate mail on, I have disadvantage with invisibility, neutralizes it. Plus 10. That's a stealth of 30.
Nice.
I rolled a 31.
Okay.
31 for me as well.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
John is a 25.
All right. So you half the party vanishes from existence. John looks like a guard. Kyron, are you doing anything special?
No, I just did stealth.
All right, so you're okay. So Kyron, you're kind of hiding back as John just kind of walks through. You guys make it up to the main floor without seeing another soul. When you make it up to the main floor, John kind of stops everyone, and you kind of look out and see what looks like a lot more guards than have been here previously, and you're starting to notice people wearing garb that's slightly different. Like the guards themselves, in general, it's a chain shirt with a tabard over it, and they either have crossbows or tridents and a helmet, and that's kind of the attire of the guards in general. However, as you guys are looking out of this kind of side passage that's hidden behind like some drapery and stuff like that, so you can't even tell it's there. As you're peeking out and looking into this, you see probably close to, in this like relatively large foyer type area, close to 100 different individuals. Some of them are wearing plate mail with the Kingdom of Walls coat of arms on it. Some of them are wearing these long flowing robes. You get the idea that this is much closer to a militia or closer to a standing army than just guards for a castle. And they're all... you can't really hear from where you are because the cloth is deadening it and it's pretty far away, but someone is addressing this group of soldiers. What do you guys want to do?
Oh, I'm invisible, so I
Yeah.
can go out there. I'll very quietly walk out there so I can hear what he's saying.
All right, make me another stealth check then.
Plus 10.
Wow. Okay.
Now, because you're going to be walking away from Arian, you won't get the plus 10.
I'd rather I'm invisible than
Yeah. Is he? No, he's not. Okay, so just plus 3, so that's 18.
Not bad. So as you walk out, you can start hearing a little bit clearer. You can hear the king basically addressing his troops, talking about their the basics of it are they're going to take the fight to Karnak before Karnak has a chance to strike. And so they're getting their most powerful soldiers, they're loading them all up on the few water vessels they have that can manually traverse waters, whether through rowers or other contraptions that gives them the ability. It'll be slow, but it will be something that they're not expecting. With the water crystal shattered now, with all the currents and everything not working, they won't be expecting a water-based attack. However, they do mention that it's going to take the better part of 2 weeks to get to Karnak. So they can only hope that they can get there faster than news can travel, so that they catch them surprised. So you have that information, Samuel. What would you like to do with it?
I kind of want to wait until the throne room starts clearing out, and if I'm feeling the spell fade, go back before it fades.
You get the idea. I need a concentration check from John. As you
Concentration check from me?
Yes,
Yeah,
as you
yes,
take
yeah.
11 damage.
Were you concentrate on anything? Oh, disguise self.
Disguise self.
Disguise self is not a concentration, is it?
It is. I thought it was. I may be wrong. Hold, please. Sky South starts with D. I'm always off by a page. It is not, so ignore me. I'm so used to everything being a concentration spell in 5th edition.
Do I get to ignore the damage? I didn't think so.
So, Samuel, after a couple of minutes, because you get there kind of at the tail end of the discussion, after a couple of minutes, you see people start moving around and shuffling. Roll me another stealth check, please.
20, not natural.
Okay. As you're kind of standing there, you're kind of like the hairs on the back of your neck start to stand on end, and you get the feeling that magic is being cast. And you see someone, a woman in long flowing robes with the crest of Waltz on it, enacting a spell and looking directly at you as she is casting it. You very quickly kind of dive out of the way and get behind a pillar as she finishes casting the spell, and you watch her eyes glow as she kind of scans the room, shakes her head, and leaves.
Okay, I don't think I'm gonna move for a little bit.
Okay.
Am I visible or invisible?
You are currently invisible.
Okay.
I think it lasts for, what, an hour?
Yeah, I just didn't know if she got rid of it.
No. You get the idea. What class are you right now?
Sorcerer.
Sorcerer. Yeah, kind of watching what she did. You think it was possibly either a detect magic or a see invisibility spell. With how quickly you had to kind of jump and dive out of the way, you're not sure which, but
Okay.
it was a spell that would have given her the ability to see you. That's all you know.
Is the king still around?
No. Samuel, you didn't even see the king. Wherever he was addressing them from was far enough away that you couldn't actually see it, and he left right after addressing.
Suppose we should go then.
Yeah, if it's if it's primarily empty, then we should start. If it's empty, we should definitely.
There's still probably about half a dozen guards that, this is their regular position, is guarding this hall. But other than that, everyone else is kind of filing out of the castle itself.
Yeah, we'll move forward, I think. Try to get out here where we can.
Well, what I could do in theory is the people who are invisible besides me could sneak out, and then one of the people who are still behind, I could dimension door out. And then that's just one person has to get past all those guards. I mean,
Well, and I have dimension door as well.
oh, so
We
then,
do so
do we know how far much feet it is from the where our boat is to the throne room currently?
It's at the
mainly-
docks of this city, so you're probably a 20 or 30 minute trek once you get out of the castle itself.
Okay.
But again, once you get out where there's other people, it becomes significantly more difficult for anyone specifically looking for you to find you, because there are crowds
So-
to blend into and things like that.
So I can't dimension door, so it's going to have to be John because I'm out of 4th level spells. So the people who are invisible, we should just walk out while they dimension door out. The two who aren't invisible.
Yeah, if we do so our great ever to me.
Yeah, because it's Kyron and John that are visible, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean that's an option. Because they could, in theory, dimension door to the front of the castle and avoid 90% of the guards they'd have to walk through.
Well, the foyer you have the foyer that you guys are in is kind of the first off limits place you guys are in. Once you exit it, you get into this kind of antechamber where the public is allowed to come into, and then on the other side of that antechamber is just the outer courtyard and then the city itself. So you guys are basically one or two rooms away from being out of it.
Okay. So I think the invisible people, we should just walk out.
Alright.
All right, make me stealth checks, invisible people.
And we're with Arian, so we have
Yeah.
+10.
Yep.
So 32 then.
Okay. Carrick?
20 total.
Okay, and
Twenty.
then Arian?
22.
Okay, so you guys all start walking very quietly, making almost no noise. And as you guys pass through the doorway leading into the antechamber, there's this bright flash of lights, and you all kind of look at each other, completely visible, standing in between two guards. The guards kind of blink for a little bit, look at you three, look at each other, and you guys basically have a surprise round if you want to attempt to do something right now, because they were 100% not expecting you guys to just materialize right between them.
Oh.
So,
Whoa.
I need to look at the spell.
how about you three roll for initiative,
Alright.
just to figure out
How
who
far
gets to
away
go
from us?
first.
How far
I
away
got
from us were they?
I got a 10.
Okay,
20.
all right, Samuel.
19.
Okay, so Arian, then Samuel, then Carrick. You guys are literally all within about 5 feet of each other, and the guards are on either side of you guys. So they're about 15 feet apart from each other. And Carrick, one guard is right next to you. Arian, one guard is right next to you. Samuel, you're in the middle of all of this. So,
Okay.
yeah. John and Kyron, you guys are kind of peeking out, and you see all of this happen, but you're far enough away that you can't really do anything for at least a turn or two, as you 100% were not expecting that to happen. You just, from the other side of the curtain, you see a very bright flash. So, Arian, you are up first. You have 2 guards kind of looking at you incredulously, and 4 other guards throughout this room that are staring at you. Not quite sure what to do.
I will. I will take out my rapier and stab the one that would be.
Okay. Go ahead and...
And then I'll leave it back and.
It's a
Yeah,
surprise
this-
round, and he's
This
an
counts
assassin.
as a surprise round, so they are surprised.
So that.
Is that an assassin rogue?
Yes, it is.
So, auto crit.
Yeah. I'll quit. So. I need to find my sister.
Okay. So, while Arian is figuring out the massive amount of damage he's going to be doing, Samuel.
Well, since I didn't go first, I'm not just gonna charm my way out of this since he's killing one.
Yeah, Arian just, without thinking, reacts lightning fast. So you are literally just barely behind him. not able to act quick enough to stop him from skewering this person. You got a total yet, Arian? You need a calculator. Yes. Any dice you roll, you roll twice as many of those. So sneak attack, the regular damage. If you are a paladin, you can throw a smite on there.
21, 25, 31, 41.
So, Samuel, faster than you can react, you watch Arian take his rapier out and thrust it through the heart, piercing through the chainmail, going right through the heart, pulls it out. You watch the guy's eyes go wide, he hits the ground, and you see a pool of blood up here very, very quickly under his body. There is now one guard, exactly one Carrick away from you, and then 4 other guards that you can see are now starting to realize what's going on, are starting to reach for crossbows.
How clumped up are the 4 guards reaching for crossbows?
None of them are closer than about 20 feet. Like they're spaced evenly within this relatively large room. So
I should rephrase that. How many can I hit with fireball?
you wouldn't be able to get more than one.
All right.
It's
In
a
that
big room and
case,
they're in different places. So
that's 3, 4. I'll do scorching ray at 3rd level and do a ray at each guard with a crossbow.
okay, so you're not worrying about the one next to Carrick then?
Nope.
Okay. Make attack rolls.
So 20 on the first,
Okay.
23 on the second,
Yep.
18 on the third,
Yep.
and 18 on the fourth.
All 4 of them hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
So how does this work? Oh, I should have done that as a bonus action. Oh well. So that's 4 fire damage on the first guy.
Okay.
5 on the second.
Okay.
There we go. 8 on the third,
Okay.
and 5 on the fourth.
All right. So you watch as Samuel kind of turns and points his hand, and these 4 bolts of fire, these rays of fire come out, and they hit each one of the guards. And you see these little burn marks on each one of the guards, but overall they seem more annoyed than anything by it, and are starting to level their crossbows. Carrick.
In Ray, I look at the guard next to me, wink, pull out my greatsword and slash at him.
Okay. So Carrick very sexily winks, takes out a great sword, brings it down.
Race to hit. 14. Okay. 20 total.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
I'm smiting him.
Go for it.
First level, so
Jody?
Yep.
I meant to, as a bonus action, since I didn't do it before my attack, activate Mantle of Flame, just so I have that active.
I'm actually not familiar with that spell. What's it do?
It's an Unearthed Arcana sorcerer thing. It surrounds me with bright light, and anyone that hits me with a melee attack takes fire damage equal to my charisma modifier.
Okay, cool. So you watch as after Samuel shoots fire off, he bursts into flame.
7 slashing, 15 radiant.
So it's a total of 22.
22. Yeah.
Looks rough, pretty rough off, but is still upright.
Going for it
Bleeding
again
rather
because
heavily.
I get 2 attacks. Good thing one was in that one, but the other one because it's surprise. 21.
Technically, after your first attack, they're no
You want me to
longer
just roll again?
surprised.
Because
Like, you
I rolled
just
them at the
hit
same
him
time.
With 22 points of damage, took away most of his life in one hit. The only time you would get advantage is if they didn't see you attacking.
Okay.
Surprise just means you act before them.
I rolled it at the same time, so you just want me to roll again?
Yeah, go ahead and roll again.
That is a 16 plus 22.
All right, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
4, 5. I'm just gonna smite him. 8, 1, 9 plus 9 radiant. 4, 5, 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. So 21.
Big old splotch of red on the ground.
As I stab through him, I whisper in his ear, "Long live Karnak." And I let his body
Oh,
drop.
that's not going to cause issues whatsoever.
I mean, I am on fire.
Yeah. So you've got a paladin that
validating
has
their
just
fears.
smited one of them that's going, "Long live Karnak." You have the rogue that, without breaking a sweat, neutralized one. And then you have, Samuel, who just sits there throwing fire around and then bursting into flames.
And how far away is this door from us?
You guys are
outside?
in the doorway. Like, you're basically
In the
5
doorway.
feet away from the antechamber.
All right.
Where you can
I'm just
see,
gonna.
after Samuel burst into flames, there were people in the antechamber that were kind of being addressed by some of the guards, where they were just kind of telling them, "Hey, we're going to war with Karnak." They saw a dude burst into flames and not die, and there is panic in the antechamber.
I am rushing at one of the injured guards, so the closest one that I can get to.
In the room, you're looking at the foyer itself is about 50 foot wide and about 100 feet deep. So the next nearest person is going to be, they're evenly spaced. God, math is hard. Is going to be
Carry the
at
two.
least. He'd probably be about 50 feet away, because you'd have someone stationed at the doors, someone in the middle of the room, and then someone at the far end of the other set of doors. So he'd be about 50 feet away. And the surprise round only gives you an additional action, not a whole round of movement action.
Okay.
Bonus action. I'm letting Samuel
Okay.
do the fire thing because it just looks cool.
It's cool.
Um,
Gotcha. So I just skewered a guard.
So yes. Now, John and Kyron, I need you guys to roll initiative for me.
Okay.
This isn't going to be
No.
like full-blown combat. This is just going to be an easier way for me to know who goes next.
3.
Okay.
12.
That makes it pretty easy then. It goes Arian, Samuel, Kyron, Carrick, John. Arian, you've just finished killing a guard. You just listened to Carrick go, "Hail Hydra." Or I'm sorry. And Samuel has just burst into flames, apparently on his own volition.
It's
And
really
you
bright in
see
here now.
4 crossbows all aimed at you, ready to fill you, and you can hear guards coming from other parts of the castle who'll probably be there within seconds. So what do you guys want to do?
Alright. So I don't have any if they may be nearby.
No, the 2 guys that were unfortunate enough to be stationed at the door
Yeah,
no longer exist.
So I quit out my resident short bullet. Yeah. Short bullet to the guy with the crossbow.
So you're going to run further into the castle?
No, I go to take out my short bow and shoot for the guy with the
Oh, okay. So you take... Okay, cool. Make an attack roll then.
23.
Definitely a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
5, 15, 8.
Cool. So you hit one of the guys that their armor is slightly singed. The arrow plunges in, breaks off the tip, and still is aiming at you. What else do you want to do with your turn? The antechamber itself is a much, much smaller room, about 30 by 30. So you are, from where you're standing right now, you are about 35 feet away from being out of the castle if you run through the antechamber.
I'll move toward the antechamber.
Okay. Roll me an acrobatics check.
Right?
There's a lot of people running around like crazy.
Yeah. 11.
So you're able to make it basically halfway through the antechamber as people are running around and you know, there's all this chaos and everything. So you're about 15 feet away from the exit of the palace and the city proper.
Right.
Samuel.
The whatever flashed and removed the invisibility. Would I know if we're past that and I'm able to redo concentration on a different spell, or was it just the doorway? Would I know that?
Make me an Arcana check.
This is not Valdez, so it's a lot lower. 15.
You get the idea there's probably a Dispel Magic ward
Okay.
that you triggered, and once it's triggered, it's deactivated.
All right.
Some
So
of them, depending on the ward, some of them reactivate after a certain amount of time. But you don't see the wards themselves. They're glyphs. They're very easy to see if you're looking for it, and you know what to look for. So you don't see a glyph glowing right now.
all right. So then I will cast Fly on myself and fly out the door.
Okay. Does that increase your speed?
60 feet.
Yeah. So you guys watch as shit. You guys watch as Samuel basically goes, "Flame on!" and then we just need a stretchy dude, a dude made out of rock, and a chick that can turn invisible, which you guys already have done. So
That's right.
And I'm
Oh boy.
the road gonna run, so.
So yeah, we this is just taken. We have just changed copyright infringements. We're no longer infringing on Square Enix. We are now infringing on Marvel and Disney. And everybody knows that Disney is super good at not like crushing anyone who uses their stuff. So, Samuel, you are out in the city. You are still on fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I drop that as a bonus action?
It's your ability. I don't know.
I'm reading.
I'm
It just says
liking
it
the
lasts
fact
for
that
a
you're the
minute.
Human Torch.
It just says it lasts for a minute. I don't think I can end it.
You are on fire for a minute, dude.
Just a giant beacon in the
You are
sky.
the
Hey,
cover-
shoot me.
The town has just been told that their war at Karnak, the people that control fire, and suddenly the Human Torch appears. Things are going to go super well for you. I can tell.
Oh.
It was 30 feet to get out the door, correct?
Yes.
I'm gonna fly 30 feet straight up in hopes that I don't get shot at.
Yes. Go away from any sort of cover you have, anything you could use to block. Just a beacon of fire in the sky. Great idea. That brings us to Chiron. Now, you guys
Oh man.
have a lot further to travel. You've got about 30 feet to get to the door where where Samuel used to be, and where Arian used to be, and then another 30 feet to get out of the building.
I am going to.
And you know the plan before.
Yeah, was the dimension door with
was going to
John.
dimension door.
So I'm going to hold my action and wait for John.
Okay. Carrick, you've just watched Samuel go, flame on!
I turn at the guards who are still pointing their crossbows at me, wink again, misty step to 5 feet from the door, and just dash with the crowd that's panicking.
Okay. Make me a stealth check.
Ooh, that's a nat one.
Oh boy.
Right? So as you kind of bamf into the crowd, you kind of run, you try and hide yourself as well as you can in the crowd, but you're wearing like sparkly armor and you've got this massive greatsword, and you take a right when you should have taken a left, and you are completely alone, no one to kind of blend in with, but you are outside. You see 30 feet above you a flaming person.
Okay,
John,
that's my turn.
what would you like to do?
I think they're on their own. And
Yeah,
this castle is on the waterfront, right?
The castle is not. The docks, like I said, going through the town, it'll take you about 20 or 30 minutes to get to the docks normally at like a walking pace. Now that there's chaos everywhere, depending on how you guys get there, it could take significantly longer. It could take, like, if no one was in your way and you were just making a mad dash, you could probably make it to the docks in about 15 minutes.
Well, I'm just. I know we're not close to the docks. I just thought I remembered the castle being close to the water, just not the docks themselves.
Close is relative. You can see the water
Within
like
500 feet.
further than that. But 500
All right.
feet would put you well into the heart of the city.
All right, so I just grabbed Kyron and I use Dimension Door and go 500 feet into the city.
Okay. Make a concentration check for me. Or rather, make a history check for me.
A history check?
Yes, we're about to find out how poorly you remember
Oh god.
where the city is. Because the castle itself is higher up than the rest of the city. So if you just do like a straight line 500 feet, you will appear in the air and fall.
I can't use Bardic Inspiration on myself, can I?
You cannot. That is a lore bard ability that you get at a much higher level.
And I'm not Lord Bard.
Twice. 0 seconds.
Ooh, 16?
16. All right. So you remember having to climb up quite a few steps to get here. You realize that if you make a straight shot, you're probably going to drop 30 feet at least. And kind of adjust a little bit. You guys end up falling onto a bunch of boxes filled with some containers that you guys break that cover you in this like viscous liquid. You have no idea what it is, but it smells awful.
But it's a liquid.
It
Does
a
it
liquid.
moisturize it?
Does it stick to my skin?
It is an oil. So
I'm hoping.
You guys do take 7 slashing damage from the bottles breaking and cutting you a little bit. But for right now,
Real good health wise.
I'm gonna say that because it's oil, the whole point of the water is it dilutes the acid, and oil won't dilute acid. It won't mix with it at all.
Okay.
It'll just sit on top of it.
I'm gonna take another moment and cast Cure Wounds on myself then.
Is Dimension Door a bonus action?
Well, I'll do that next turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Dimension Door is not. It is an action.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Kyron, you are now all cut up and covered in this incredibly foul-smelling oil. and the room that you are in is relatively dark and very small. You can see a door right in front of you. The room itself is no more than about 5 foot by 10 foot. Like, just barely big enough for both of you guys to be in there. There's shelves everywhere. You've destroyed half the shelves in here.
Can I go to the door and poke my head out, see if I can figure out where we're at?
You have to open the door in order to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you open the door, and it opens to a home. Relatively standard. You can see what you assume is the door that leads to the outside. It's about 15 feet away from where you guys are. You think you landed in a pantry.
Is there anybody near? Anybody that heard that? Maybe.
Make me a perception check.
Ooh, perception. 13.
There are no lights on in the house, and the blinds are drawn. So, if you were to take a guess, due to the fact that nobody lit any candles or opened the windows for light, you would guess that there's probably nobody home right now.
I do have dark vision.
You don't see anyone from peeking out of the door.
Okay.
But you can't see the whole house, or even the whole room, from where you are. So, with a 13 perception, you get the idea that probably they're at work, or they're at the little meeting or something. They may be guards that have been drafted into the military. You have no idea, but generally, if somebody is home, they would have lit a candle or opened the window so they could actually see.
I turn to John and tell him that I think we're pretty well safe to get out of this place.
All
Sorry?
right. So that brings us back up to Arian. You have tons of people running around. You hear from behind you the sound of many footsteps as you kind of look back through the door and see close to a dozen guards running forward, aiming crossbows. You guys kind of moved faster than they could shoot at you before.
Can I try to break it with a crowd and die out?
Make a stealth check.
The 29.
You do the Assassin's Creed thing where you just put your hood up and then you just walk, like you don't even have to run. You just casually, you find someone, convince them that you're their long lost brother, and you're having a great time. You're talking about little Sally and how she just got the training wheels off of her bike, and how, little Jimmy, just got his first practice sword and he wants to be, a guard for the king when he grows up. And you're gone. As you walk out, you make a comment about the lunatic that lit himself on fire. Yeah, it just seems weird. The avatar of death in the air, who knows? Johnny Storm, you're up.
So, I'm about to branch from one franchise to another, and I'm going to use my bonus.
Infringe on as many copyrighted entities as possible.
Hey, I'm not the one who gave this cleric a warhammer, but I'm going to bonus action to the cleric so I'm not on fire anymore.
Okay.
Essentially,
I'm going to say just because it's funnier this way, and because the effect doesn't technically end for a minute,
yeah.
Even changing, you are still on fire. So now you're a flying cleric.
Wow. Do I see the ducks?
Yeah, from 30 feet up in the air.
I'm gonna.
When the castle itself is already about 30 feet above the rest of the thing, you can see the docks.
I'm gonna just dash fly towards it. Just go 120 feet towards the boat.
Okay, so The human torch turns into flaming Thor and just flies straight for the docks. You think at 120 feet per turn, it's probably and flying, it's probably still going to take you 3 or 4 turns to get there, but nothing is stopping you right now. And as you fly over the houses, you hear the terrified screams of children. Mommy, the Batman is coming!
We successfully inadvertently fueled this war.
Yes, you guys have now started your very own war. Congratulations.
Here's my bucket list check mark.
Kyron,
Kyron.
what would you like to do?
Um,
You guys are covered in ooze. Do you want to make some sort of allusion to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? We haven't got who
no,
owns
I'm
them.
actually good.
I'm in
IDW publishes the comic book now, so, I mean,
Yeah, I have no idea.
they make a Power Rangers comic, too. Do you have anything you want to go there, too?
No, I'm good.
So, you're in an abandoned, not an abandoned house, but an empty house. What do you want to do?
I'll open the door and make my way to the front door and look out and see what's going on outside. If the panic has reached us yet, or it's chaos. Okay.
You're welcome.
It took almost no time whatsoever once a flaming being appeared in the sky for the entire city to just go nuts. People are running through the streets. It is very much a chaotic time.
Did I happen to see Johnny Storm go over us, or is he already gone past?
You guys at 500 feet. He is not up to you. You guys are actually probably within about 100, 150 feet of the docks where you are. So the Flaming Thor is still closer to the palace than you guys are.
I turned to John and I said we should probably just blend with the crowd and make our way to the docks.
It's probably a good idea.
Okay. And so I open the door and I run out and I do the.
Wait, you're gonna go out like that, covered in ooze, and blend in?
I have an idea.
Would not be 100% out of, again, chaos in the streets.
Yeah, I run out and do the Captain America wave. And not the Captain America, but Team America, World Police wave. And run towards the docks.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a stealth check. I'm going to give you disadvantage on it just because you're covered in ooze.
Oh, man. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. Stealth, that's 21.
Yeah, you blend into the crowd. Not too much difficulty.
Okay.
Carrick.
Okay, because I'm separated from everybody, I don't know what's going on, and this is funnier than what I was going to do. I'm turning back into Ernest, and because I am a strong wizard, I cast Jump on myself, and I'm going to start bounding from rooftop to rooftop to get to the dog.
Oh my god! Why?
I need an athletics check with advantage because that is awesome. Go ahead and take inspiration for that.
Oh, that's a 23.
Yeah. You move from building to building, causing a fair amount of property damage. You think you probably, again, are going to have... it's going to take you a couple of turns to get all the way to the docks, but you don't really see an issue with you getting there. Arian to make things easier, everybody, I think. Oh, John, you're the only person that hasn't found a way to the docks yet. So,
I just dimension door to the boat.
okay. John's in the boat first, guys. The rest of you guys make it without too much difficulty. Samuel, you are the one that has the most difficulty. By the time you land on the boat, you can see the captain coming over, pointing, kind of pointing a sword at you. Yeah, she has all of her men there, and then the flames finally stop, and she's like, "Oh, Yar, do we need to leave?"
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as everyone's here.
You see a Goliath just in the air slam down onto the boat.
The entire boat goes.
Yeah,
One guy gets knocked overboard, climbs back up on the ship, makes a gesture you've never seen before, but you're relatively certain is not something you make in mixed company. Yeah, you guys all make it on and start heading out.
While I was waiting for the others, I turned back into the Warlock and used Prestidigitation to clean all the oil off.
Okay.
And could I put because you can either clean or soil an object, could I put a wet mud on myself? Like a really wet mud?
Make me a spell attack roll.
You can get somebody else dirty.
Ooh. 12.
Not quite high enough. You're not able, you get dirt and stuff all over yourself, but it's not wet enough to keep you from taking damage. You take an additional 8 points of acid damage, but you are on the water now. You really don't think you're going to have an issue getting water.
Yes, you might want to keep getting hit by the sea spray.
Titanic, this place.
Just strap you to the bottom of the ship.
Wait, how fast does the ship go?
Due to the fact that I don't actually understand knots or how fast ships normally go, I'm gonna just say it's fast. Faster than the wall ships that are powered by rowing.
Would you say faster than 60 feet or 10 feet a second?
Sure.
Okay, never mind.
Why?
I was going to polymorph myself into a killer whale and follow the boat for a little while.
With the fact that it's being kind of drawn by a giant sea serpent, it would outclass a killer whale.
Okay.
I mean, we could tie you to the sea serpent down below.
That would
Keel haul you.
But quite literally, just taking a bucket on a rope, going down, and then dumping it on yourself every 10 minutes is all you really need to do.
I use Unseen Servant as a ritual, and have that basically just keep dumping water on me over and over again.
So
here's a ritual takes 10 minutes. You take an additional 1 acid damage while casting it.
Okay. Can I use some?
Filthy.
Can I use some hit dice?
Sure. That's an hour for a short rest.
I'm still the cleric. I will just heal you.
He still has his Unseen Servant. This is kind of going
now you're fine. After you guys get far enough away from walls that you're not in danger, the captain asks you guys where to next.
Karnak, there will be war.
Yeah. We could technically go there last and hope well, I guess we'll beat them regardless.
Yeah. As of right now, nobody actually knows where the lost city where the Earth Crystal is. That I have to remember.
So then to Karnak. and warn them of the war that we inadvertently fueled.
Ronka, that's the name of the lost city. The lost city of Ronka. You know it's in the south somewhere. You've no idea where though, because again, it's a lost city. Nobody lives there anymore.
So we'll head to Karnak then.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
so you guys get settled in for the long haul. Go ahead and take a long rest.
Yay!
Yeah.
After every 50 minutes pass, you're ritually casting Unseen Servant again to keep it up without taking any damage. Because you are cursed for life, my friend.
Something else I forgot about this lovely disease.
Alright.
You actually can't regain hit points unless you are underwater.
Oh my gosh.
Can I just kill you?
I said that from the start.
I'm going to say that it takes you guys a good 5 or 6 days to get to Karnak. In that 5 to 6 days, you guys experiment with enough different kind of alchemical concoctions that you get a way to heal John of this affliction.
Who knew a bit of dirt and salt equated to a heal spell?
Oh,
You better.
What it was is you guys didn't realize he had scurvy, is what it is.
Oh.
So you just gave him some oranges and he was right as rain.
all you needed was some citrus.
Yeah, as you guys are getting closer to Karnak, you know, Karnak itself, while it's almost on kind of like a peninsula type thing, it is not right up against the water. It's a couple miles inland from the water. Or not like miles. I'm sorry. The city itself doesn't have docks or anything like that, but is again relatively close to the water, where you guys will have to find a way into the city after you get off the boat. So, what do you guys want to do?
While on the boat, is there a brass brazier on the boat?
Brass brazier. Remarkably enough, a giant bowl of fire not on the boat. It's weird.
There's probably one back in myself and Samuel's home
again,
in
Karnak
Karnak.
is a city of smiths.
Okay.
And there's fire everywhere there.
I'm going to keep my eye out for fire.
All
You'll
right.
be seeing lots of it. Your damned king attacked us unjustified.
Technically, no,
wait.
he didn't. He
Yeah,
imprisoned
no.
you. You murderized 2 of his guards. One of you burst into flames and then flew off, and then Carrick, you went and destroyed. You probably did like hundreds of gold in property damage on your way out. Incredible.
We were unjustly imprisoned. There we go.
So now you guys are the A team.
I don't know. I think it was just a precog. He knew you were trouble.
So, as you guys get closer, there are docks outside of the city of Karnak proper. It's about a 20-minute walk from the docks themselves to the outsides of the city, and then there is a keep inside the city, but it's nothing like the Palace of Water. The ruler of Karnak, Karnak itself is a much more militarized culture. And so the king himself, while he does live in his keep, which keeps him kind of separate from the populace, it's not the opulent wealth and everything that Waltz was. It's much more function over beauty, I guess. So. So, you guys are getting close. What kind of things do you guys want to do as far as getting into the city? You currently do not know where the fire crystal is. So what do you guys want to do?
I turn back into my normal self.
Okay.
Because I'm a citizen of Karnak originally, and so yeah, I'm just like, we must speak with the king or the general or somebody who knows where the crystal is. Tell them about this war. As I'm opening a flask and taking a swig.
Because that's always worked so well for us in the past.
Yeah.
Politicians in general, super open to listening to ordinary citizens tell them about, military secrets and things like that.
I'll have you know, my father is a grandsmith. I just suck at it.
Why don't we find an inn where some soldiers have a tendency to go? Some soldiers, some guards, some higher-ups, maybe. We find an inn, I play a show, and then we talk to some people afterwards. We get some people drunk. I use my charisma on them.
I can lead you, but it's better I don't do it in this form. And I turn back to Ernest.
Only kids try to think about it, thinking that we did. But
Wait a minute.
around with me and see how that goes.
Wait a minute. So, sorry, one of the features of my bard is by popular demand, which means I can usually find a place to perform in an inn, tavern, but possibly a circus, a theater, or even a noble's court.
Noble is very different from royalty. So,
True, but I'm wondering if there might be a noble or, a place where classy people hang out.
in
That we can then
Waltz,
try to get
that
information
would
from
work.
or sway.
Again, it's not that they're that much wealthier. They're more opulent. Karnak is a very military-driven city. The nobility are nobles because they hold high ranks in the military. Like the nobility in general is not a blood thing; it is a rank thing in Karnak. And the arts in general are not incredibly well supported. So you will have no problem finding a tavern to perform in. But as far as finding a noble that would actually pay for entertainment like that, it's not happening in Karnak. That's just not their thing.
Okay. Well, boys, what do you say we find a tavern?
Sure.
Yeah, and we wanna try and be sure I'm quasi-military.
Okay.
Maybe they will be, but
Are you going to be in your kind of neutral Wyvern Rider garb, or are you going to be using a crystal to disguise yourself?
well, if we did that, I'd be back in my life and life.
Okay.
But I don't know. What do you guys think? You want to try this tavern?
Really quickly, Kyron, can you hear me?
I don't think Samuel or Kyron can.
Yeah, I don't think either
Do
one
real
of them
quick.
can.
Refresh this. So the stream is going to keep on going, but All right, Samuel, Kyron, can you guys hear me?
I can now, yes.
Cool. What about you, Kyron?
I hear you.
Awesome. We fixed it.
Sweet.
Cool. All right, so John has suggested going to a tavern, getting a bunch of people drunk as he sings. Arian has mentioned, and I think was it Carrick too, mentioned the diplomatic approach. What are you guys thinking? You are landing at a totally did not see that happening. Cool. You guys are landing at the docks right now, so you kind of have to make your decision over the next 20 minutes as you walk into Carrick City proper. What do you want to do?
I'm fine with either of those options.
Same here.
I'm just thinking it might make sense to take the temperature, see what's going on, to see if there's some plot or something going on. They're preparing for war. What have the people heard before we go in and go, "Hey, your crystals are in danger," and they go, "Yes, we know. We're the ones doing it."
All right.
Before we dock, though, I want to change back to the sorcerer.
Okay. So you guys get to Carrick proper, and the first thing that you realize, the city is hot. The part of the world that you're in is not, like, you're not in a tropical climate or anything like that, but there are forges everywhere. There are braziers and things that are just shooting flames in the center of town just randomly. Like, fire is everywhere. In the middle of town, there is a fountain that is leaking some sort of molten rock or metal, something red hot, a flaming fountain, basically. And you notice that most of the buildings are made out of this like black iron that seems highly resistant to flames and things like that. As people walk around, most people are covered in sweat and things like that, but they seem to be enjoying just the massive amount of fire. And weapons are everywhere. Incredibly high quality weapons. Like, as you guys just wandering around, especially you, Arian, with your military training, you look around and these are incredibly well crafted weapons. It looks like their edges would hold for a very long time. They're perfectly balanced. You try out a couple as you talk to a few of the merchants who have no problem with you kind of inspecting the goods and things like that. And this is the finest weapons and metal armor you have seen in your life. Everywhere. Like, even the bad shops where you can see kind of like the cheap shit is better than most of the stuff that the highest ranking Wyvern riders have. Like, this is just good shit.
It's nice to be home.
Is there a brass brazier anywhere?
There are braziers everywhere.
But are they brass?
No.
There are ones made of brass. There's ones made of steel. There are... Again, fire is a big deal here.
So I approach somebody who has a brass one and say, "Hey, can I borrow this for an hour?"
Most of them seem basically like public property, like kind of like trash cans throughout the city. Like, every so often you just see like a trash can there in the hopes that someone will attempt to use it without just tossing garbage on the ground and making the city look like shit. It's the same kind of thing with these braziers. They're just randomly placed around, lit with fire coming out of them continuously.
I find one. I throw in a little bag of herbs, some charcoal and incense, and I spend an hour and I cast Find Familiar.
Okay. So, in the middle of town, John walks forward What race is the warlock?
The warlock is he is technically a tiefling, but I use disguise self to make myself look human.
Okay. So this human walks over to one of the braziers, middle of town, starts throwing stuff in it, makes the flame change color, and he starts incanting. And part of this spell is actually drawing stuff outside of it, and so he starts drawing runes and magical symbols around the brazier to find the familiar. After about 15 minutes, you notice the presence of guards and people pointing at you. And these are, first of all, very large people in general. Carrick, you know for a fact that the guards in general for Karnak tend to be the biggest and the strongest. Seen as physicality is a very sought after trait, and so the only people that make it into the guards are like linebackers. So you see about half a dozen linebackers, full black plate, full weapons and things like that look incredibly, well made, with these massive looking spiked shields, tower shields, come over and look at you and go, "Hey, what you doing?"
It's a magic trick. I'm going to make a bird.
We don't like magic here.
What? Why ever not?
Well, first things first, you're scaring the other people. We've had a dozen complaints that someone here is messing with one of the holy braziers of Karnak.
Well,
It's not supposed to burn green. Green's not a colour of fire, it's red. Sometimes yellow and orange. If you make it really hot, it sometimes turns like white or blue. But never green. Green's not a colour of fire. Green is like salads, which I don't eat. I like steak.
Just one moment, good sir. I turn to the fire, and I cast Thaumaturgy and make the fire red again.
Okay, that does interrupt your spell.
That's fine.
So as you sit there and you start casting the Thaumaturgy spell, I need you to make a dexterity savings throw.
Quick, blame it on the Earth Tribe. Somehow create world war in
Hello,
this.
Hotman.
That is a 10.
Not enough. As you sit there and you start attempting to cast the spell, you feel a sharp pain at the base of your skull, and you hit the ground hard. As you're sitting there trying to figure out what it was that just happened, you're having a hard time concentrating. You feel your arms kind of being taken and shoved behind your back.
When I take damage, I use Misty Step.
You mean the escape thing where you poof away and turn invisible?
Yep.
Normally you would. Something about the blow that they did has messed with your ability to concentrate, and for basically until the start of your next turn, you are completely incapable of casting any spells. You can't get your mind to focus long enough to cast a spell or use your reaction to do the Misty Escape. So by the time you are back to the point of being able to think, you are bound in irons, and they are starting to gag you.
As they're doing that, in my Goliath form, so I'm probably as big as them, I walk
Pretty
up to
cool.
one
You're
of them.
technically taller than they are by probably a good foot, but they are wider than you are.
I walk up to one of the guards and I'm like, good sir, We just come from walls, and we have some disturbing news. I may want to speak with your captain.
You hear him go, Waltz! And he kind of turns, and you see him just make this motion, and almost as if they're appearing out of nowhere, guards start swarming. And they start pointing weapons and things at you guys, and they're like, they've just declared war on us.
Yes,
And they claim that there is a party of about 5 people who caused a shit ton of damage and destroyed their crystal under our orders. I think you need to spend some time cooling off before you meet my friend. We call him the Interrogator. He's lovely. You'll have an excellent time with him.
About how many people are there?
About 24. Again, this is a military society. Like, being a guard is like their thing. There are guards everywhere.
Well, this
the
is
barracks
going on.
is no more than about 30 feet away.
While this is going on, I want to just lean to one of the citizens and be like, I heard those people are from walls. What's going on?
Make
try
a
and blend
deception
in.
check.
Yeah,
Sorcerer right now, so.
Yeah. Okay. It's a natural 20, so 28.
And this woman goes, oh, I've never seen you around here. But yeah, they said they're from walls. They've started a war. You best... And she sits there and she kind of roughly grabs you and just kind of ushers you into a nearby house. As she's like, I've never seen you around here. If you're not careful, they're going to think you with him. And she kind of rushes you into a house so that nobody really sees you. And starts pouring you a cup of tea. Kyron, Arian, Carrick, you're already in irons. But Kyron and Arian, they're coming for you. Because you were nearby and are obviously not from Karnak. What do you guys want to do? You have basically a split second to try and do something like Samuel, or you're going to be in irons. By the way, Samuel, take inspiration for that, because that was clever.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought it was and I am Helena. I was hired by the guys to buy on walls and like we made my way back in all the chaos with the party.
Roll me a deception check. You're saying this to the guards, right?
Yeah.
With disadvantage.
Okay.
They're not quite as trusting as the random person Samuel found on the street.
Well, 10.
They don't seem to believe you, and you feel irons being locked around your wrist. You realize that compared to the ones that you guys are just in, these are a whole new beast. Again, anything created that's, related to metal here is the highest quality. Kyron, anything you want to do?
Is there any chance I can just take a quick look before they get to me and look around and see what's going on, like in the sky? Like if there's any are there any forests nearby?
The whole city is surrounded by this 40-foot high wall.
Okay.
So seeing anything outside the city is relatively difficult. However, you do know before you came in there is a forest to the east.
Okay.
Probably a mile or two away from the city itself. It used to be much, much larger. That's where they get some of the fuel that they use because they turn a lot of the trees into charcoal, which is what they use to fuel their furnaces and things like that, or else they had been for a long time.
Then I'll B-shape into an eagle and fly up.
Okay, make me a dexterity saving throw. Or no, make me an acrobatics check using the eagle statistics.
Oh, crap.
I think it has a 16 dex.
Can I assist him by trying to do a distraction?
Wait.
You are in chains already. You have no ability to...
16, so I add +3.
Yep. Let's say you're trained in acrobatics, so add your proficiency bonus to... You're an eagle. They're acrobatic.
So
plus 6.
20, not natural.
Yeah, as you sit there and you transform into an eagle, one of the guards immediately grabs at you, and you dodge out of the way and you fly off.
You have 80 feet flight speed, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to go up and towards the wall.
You've no problem getting to it. You do see some crossbow bolts and arrows fly past you, but you're fast enough that no one was able to get a good beat on you until you were long out of their range.
Okay.
So, Carrick, John, Arian, you guys are taken to the dungeon. Samuel, you are having a lovely time. The tea is wonderful.
I imagine.
She uses honey to sweeten it, and it just, like, your throat's not been feeling all that great, and it just feels wonderful now. And she gives you scones that are just lovely. Carrick, John, and Arian, you guys are locked in a cell. The difference between the cells, you're all in one cell. The difference between the cells here and the ones that you were in Waltz is the walls are made of stone, and only the front of the cell is bars. So while there are multiple cells, you can't really tell, except for the cell that you're in, if there's anyone else in this prison. So
All right.
We'll get back to Samuel and Kyron in a little bit. John, Carrick, Arian, what do you guys want to do?
Can I try my infantry again?
I'm going to let you roll a perception check on the lock itself. Looking at the lock, this isn't a lock that can be picked by a hairpin. You would need an actual set of thieves' tools. And even with that, this is a very intricate lock. It would be very difficult even for a master thief to pick it. John, Carrick, anything you guys want to do while you're just kind of sitting there?
My family is a family of smiths. I know how tough his steel is. I don't know I don't know Ernest's limits yet, so I'm gonna try my Goliath strength again.
Okay. On what?
My binding.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Probably not. Yeah, that's a 12.
You are really impressed. Like, since you were here last, the quality of metal and everything like that has just skyrocketed. Like, you kind of look at this, like, this is full-on folded steel for the links. Like, I mean, the amount of time and effort that would have gone into folding the steel and then forging it into these links and everything, incredible. And it's the steel itself has a very low carbon content, so it's incredibly strong. And, like, I mean, this is just really high quality material. And as you're sitting there just concentrating on it, like, I'm fucked. No way.
And I can't cast any spells with how they binded me, because I don't think I showed them I was a spellcaster in this form.
with the when they saw Chiron transform into a bird, they got the idea that you guys might have magical powers, and so they took precautions.
Okay.
Without that, they because again, magic is not nearly as widespread in its use as it is in like traditional D&D. So, had there not been someone actively using magic right in front of them, they wouldn't even thought of it. It's just not something that happens. But yeah,
We're
Chiron.
totally high-fiving you right now, Kyron.
With Chiron doing it, they're being better safe than sorry. So yeah, anything with somatic components you can't do. Anything with material components you can't do right now because you can't actually physically access the material components.
Somatic, that's like hand gestures and
Yes.
stuff? Yeah.
So if there's any verbal only spells you can attempt them.
I Misty Step out of the cage.
Okay.
It's verbal only.
So as you guys watch as Carrick steps out, you hear this loud explosion rip through the dungeon that you guys are in. The walls shake, and one of the walls to the cell that you guys are in just blows apart. John and Arian, give me dexterity saving throws.
7.
Okay.
Oh, John. At least you're transformed.
It doesn't matter. It's 10, but no
And-
saving throw.
Yeah.
13.
Arian, you
Okay,
have evasion, right?
What was Arian? What was yours?
24.
You guys are fine. As the explosion happens, you guys kind of dive out of the way and are able to shield yourself from any debris. Carrick, you're far enough away that none of the debris hits you. As it all settles in, you see this older gentleman in very fine clothing that is completely covered in dust and muck and things. You can see it looks like he's been wearing it a while because like his tie is undone and his shirt just doesn't look quite right. And as he comes in, he kind of looks around and you watch his face just fall. And he sits there and goes, "The last of my dynamite. And I broke into another cell." And he just collapses on himself, bawling.
I hold up my arms and say, if you can get us out of here, we can get you out of here. Or get us out of these.
I just used the last of my dynamite. I would blow up, and then I'd be able to leave, and I could get to the fire ship so I could turn it off, so that the crystal could be saved. But now I've broken into another cell, and I'm still trapped, and so I can't do anything, and it's all my fault.
Do you know the general... Do you know which wall would lead to this area you're going to?
And he kind of looks, and he's like, "Who are you? Why aren't you in jail? You're not a god."
I point at the bindings, and I point at where I am, and I'm just like, this happened.
And he just looks at you like you're nuts.
Just tell me which wall.
Do I look like I know which wall? I just blew the wrong wall up. Obviously, my judgment is poor.
Sir, calm down.
No,
You're
you don't
trying to save
understand. The machines are destroying the crystals. If the fire crystal
We
gets
do.
destroyed, then the world is
we
going
do
to
understand.
end, and it's all my fault. And I just used the last of my dynamite
understand.
that I was going to use to get out of the cell to get into another cell. I have trapped myself.
We know. We've seen the wind crystal and the water crystal blow up. That's why we can do things like this, and I turn into Ray.
And he just, he falls on his ass at this point.
That's why you need to free those two.
Who are you?
Call us
We are the Crystal Warriors.
We're trying to find our way to the fire crystal.
What?
Just just free those two. They have the same powers I do. They just
With
turn into different
what?
people. Okay, let's see. What
And
do
you
I
see
have?
him just, he goes back into his cell, and as you guys kind of look, there's a little table in the back, and you see there's all these papers and things, and he goes in the back and he just starts writing things. He's like, well, if I do this, no, because you're too stupid. No, it's a great idea. Let's just
Can I
put all
inspire
the-
him?
Go ahead.
Oh wait, I have
Um,
an idea. While he's figuring that out, I walk over to Arian and I tell Arian to bring the gauntlets out, and I'm going to. There, is it made of iron?
No, these are steel.
If it was iron, I could have turned it into wood.
Or technically everything here is made of mithril.
Okay. So yeah, won't work. Never mind.
So I inspire him to help him come up with a better idea. use my
So as
bardic
you sit
inspiration.
there and you just kind of, no, you got this, and you sit there and say, well, no, I've got it! I've got it! This is what we're going to do. So, and he takes out this drawing of a vaguely humanoid figure with just tons of things written in the margins and that. So, I have this giant mechanical monster that I can create, and then what we're going to do is I have a friend. His name is Bob. Bob is a great smith, and what he's going to do is he's going to make all these pieces, and then we're going to put it together. We're going to make this giant man of metal, and we're going to take the giant man of metal, and he's going to come in, and you see he's actually made out of various like pieces of furniture and stuff like that. He's actually made a little like action figure type thing, and it's like, so this is what the man, and then this is Karnak, and he just has like a box here. He's going to, and he comes over and he's going to be like, oh no, we're on Karnak, we don't know what we're going to do. I'm going to just step on you, and I'm going to crush you, and I'll crush you, and I'll crush you, and I'll crush you again. And he destroys this little box that you think is made of food particles and things like that. You're not sure. He said, and that's how we're going to save the entire world. He's my giant metal man. What do you think?
I would like to
I just-
check him.
I just look at him as I reach out, and I pat Arian's head, polymorph into a spider.
Arian
25.
becomes very small, and you watch him go, ah!
And then I guide Arian out, place her on the ground, drop polymorph.
And he looks at you, and he goes back to his robot and smashing whatever it is. What was your insights check, John?
25.
You're relatively certain this is not his best day. You think he may be... with a 25, you can actually tell he looks a little bit dehydrated. Which you're surprised more people around here aren't with just how hot it is. And he doesn't seem 100% in control of all of his faculties, which is not uncommon when you combine dehydration with lack of sleep and stress and things like that. He's just this close to like a mental breakdown.
And when I casted polymorph, I changed my transmutation stone to resistance to fire damage, just because we're here.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
And then I'm like, Aaron, can you free John?
Yeah.
So as you guys are sitting there, you hear the door to the dungeon open, and you see a bunch of guards rush in. And as they come in, they see Carrick and Arian just kind of standing there outside of the... And they look very confused. And then you watch them kind of jerk forward as somebody just bursts through them. Goes up to the cell that this random man was in, and unlock it, opens it up, and just immediately walks over to this person. He goes, Professor Sid, the worst has happened. Cracks have appeared in the fire crystal. And you see the man just sit there, and he composes himself very quickly, and he smooths out his hair. He goes, well, I told you that was a possibility, and well, now we need to fix it. Have you turned off the machine? Have you disconnected the fire ship from the fire crystal. Well, yes, sir, we did, but unfortunately, someone has reactivated it, and we the ship is full of monsters, and we can't get anywhere near it, and we can't turn it off or anything like that. We don't know
Excuse
what to do. And then he finally
Excuse me, sir.
realizes that there's a
Before-
giant hole in the wall, and he kind of looks at it, and then he looks at Sid, and he looks over at John. And then he looks back and notices that Carrick and Arian are just kind of standing there.
And I'm a Goliath.
Yeah. And he's just like,
Dude,
sure, there's hope. And then there, but then there's... And he turns to John. Who are you?
Say your
We've
full
seen this
name.
before. First, the cracks start. We need to get the machine turned off, and we need to stop the monsters.
Obviously,
Let us help.
that's what I just said. And he turns back. Professor Sid, who is this moron, and why is he telling me the things that I've already told you? Oh, don't worry about him. Hey, these are my new friends. This is Phil, and that's Biggie, and the other one there is Smalls. Yes, they're my friends, and they're going to help us stop this because they're powerful warriors. Look at them. And he comes over and he just kind of drags John over. And he's like, look at this face. This is the face of a warrior. This is the face of a man who's killed 1 million creatures and has never shed a single tear. And the guy just looks at you.
There's
Looks
two
sad.
people we need you to help us find, though.
And John, you're the only one that can hear this because Sid is literally like hugging you at this point. But you see him lean down. Have you taken your tincture today?
My temperature. No.
No, he's not talking to you. He's talking to Sid.
Oh.
And the word was tincture. Which
Oh, sorry.
you know to be a potion of some sort. And Sid goes, I don't need that. I'm perfectly fine and capable of thinking and creating amazing things. I created the machines that amplify the crystal's power. Do you think I can't come up with a way to stop them? Especially with Phil? Phil can do it. I've known Phil for years. He's my best friend. He was at my wedding. But you're not married. I don't care.
I
Didn't
look
work
at
out.
his assistant, I guess, and I'm just like, there are two others like us that we need to find.
And for the first time, this other person kind of acknowledges you and goes, I'm sorry. Who are you? And why are you not in a cell?
He calls me Biggie. I'm magical. I take out a pouch of sand, cast light on it, make it black, cast light on it again, make it purple, put the light out, put it away.
I think I need to lie down. And he goes to the bed that's in the cell and just kind of lies down for a second.
We don't have time for that. We need to go now.
do I have
Whatever you require, Sid. We need to get this fixed. If the fire crystal goes, then Waltz is on its way. We know that the Navy is mobilizing. We need the fire crystal to fight them.
do I have C2 like did they try to separate me?
They kind of just bound everybody and threw you in there without really searching you. So theoretically, you would have thieves' tools.
Can I try to get John's claw?
Well, the door to Sid's cell, which you can get to just by walking through the big hole he made, is still open. Like they never closed it.
Well, can I try to get John's?
Oh, the manacles.
Yeah.
as you guys are kind of standing there, or you don't have the manacles on anymore. You were transformed into a spider.
Yeah.
No,
They-
he means John's manacles.
God.
Oh,
Yes.
as you start kind of looking at them, the guards come over with a key and just unlock them.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay, so 2 people we need. One,
And
I
you see
basically
he's just lying there. He's like, whatever you need here, and he
Okay.
takes out this signet ring that you recognize as being the signet ring has the symbol of the King of Karnak on it.
I always wanted one of these, and I put it
Whatever you
on.
need, just please fix this. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't make any sense. Please.
Okay,
just-
I tell the guards all of the forms of Samuel and Chiron, just so that no matter what they try, they're gonna be brought to us so that we have all of our power.
And the guards basically escort you out of the dungeon, and you have your own 2-person escort wherever you go. What do you guys want to do? While that's happening, Chiron, to get all the way to the forest itself takes you probably a good 20-30 minutes. Once you get there, what do you want to do?
Well, I didn't want to go all the way to the forest. I wanted to get.
What do you want to do?
I wanted to go up to a wall. Were there archers on the wall?
The wall is wide enough to have. There's a guard tower on each of the 4 corners, and then it's wide enough for basically archers to patrol.
Okay. I wanted to roost on the edge facing inside the city and look, and if once I can keep lookout for guards doing patrols, and if one start coming too close, I was going to dive down and try and hide behind a building and turn into Chiron and not the actual druid.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check. Go ahead and do it with advantage, seeing as it would
Okay.
probably be pretty difficult for people to see you.
Thank you for the advantages. That was a 1.
It's-
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe not for you,
uh,
but
Yeah, right. 18.
yeah, you pulled it off without too much difficulty.
I just
You
wanted
still-
to.
You still look out of place compared to the rest of the people here. Oh wait, are you from Karnak as well, or?
No, I'm from Walls.
Yeah,
That's
So-
me. That's from Karnak.
yeah. You're still going to look a little bit out of place, but not quite as out of place as you did before.
Okay. And I
Um,
wanted to. Did I see where they took them towards the jail?
You were kind of flying around. By the time you roosted, they were pretty much gone from public eye, so you didn't really see where they were taken.
Okay.
But a few questions and things like that, you can probably figure out where the jail is.
Yeah, I just wanted to head towards that direction in case something happens.
Okay. So you do that, and you kind of keep a watch out for the jail, timing guards, things like that, for, making an escape if you need to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Samuel, the woman whose name is Elsa is just lovely. She's this one. Her family has lived in Karnak for 6 generations. At one point, they were part of the nobility, but then they had 2 or 3 generations that the kids just really weren't made up to be in the military, and so they had a farm outside the city and did pretty well there. And then a couple generations before, they moved back into town, and they have this tavern that they own, but they don't really work it anymore because the funds from the tavern are more than enough to keep them kind of going. So they have other people that run, actually work the tavern for them. And she just gets to spend most of her days, perfecting her scones recipes and gossiping with her fellow friends and things like that. And she asks about you. What do you tell her?
I tell her that I am a traveling salesman.
She finds that fascinating. What do you sell?
I sell whatever you can think of.
That's the most fascinating thing in the world. I've always thought it would be just the most amazing thing in the world to just run around and sell people things. It's so lovely. Quick, sell me something. Sell me anything. I'll buy it immediately.
See my inventory. I'll just pull out a dagger and be like, this is the greatest knife you will ever use. It can cut any vegetable, any meat, never needs to be sharpened.
Make a, let you choose deception or persuasion.
Both +8.
Do your best Ronco impression.
25.
Set
But-
it and forget it.
But wait, there's more, and I pull out a second dagger.
Oh, they're so lovely. I've always wanted something like that, but I've never been able to find it. Even though we've got great little knives here, everything's made for war. So, how much do I owe you for it?
Tell you what, as a gesture of goodwill for giving me this delicious tea and crumpets, they're yours for free. Just tell everyone where you got
She
them.
starts tearing
Spread
up
the
a little
word.
bit. She's like, "These are the nicest gifts I've ever been given." Oh, makes me miss my poor Winston. Oh, it's just he would have loved these because he loves when I'm making mistakes and things like that. But he's been gone for 7 years. Oh, I'm so. So this goes on for a while. You
I want to watch
eventually-
out the window for any guards, and if I see any, I'm just going to cast invisibility. Because I don't know that they're still not after me.
You do see guards every so often walking past. None of them look in the house.
Okay.
After about an hour or two of this, you see two guards flanking Carrick, John, and Arian as they're walking around. Chiron, you see John, Carrick, and Arian come out with two guards. No manacles, no anything, and it seems like the guards are like following them as opposed to, forcing them to go somewhere. What would you like to do?
Where am I in relation to where they're walking?
By the way-
You're near another. There's a tavern with a few benches and tables outside. You're at one of the tables eating. So you're,
By the
I
way,
don't know, 40 feet away from him.
I'm transformed back into Carrick with the ring on my finger, like Carrick's back in town and he's in with the royalty.
Okay.
Do I notice this?
Make a perception check.
Uh, 18.
You do notice that Carrick has some bling you don't remember him having before. With you not being from Karnak, you wouldn't recognize the crest.
Yeah. So I start following behind them, like not directly, but just a little bit farther back.
Okay. Make me a stealth check.
That's 7.
Carrick, John, Arian, as you guys come out, you notice that somebody is following you. You turn around and you see Chiron.
I'm just like, hey, come here.
There you are.
What are you doing?
We're looking for you guys.
But we were in jail.
Not
Yes.
any longer.
We met a gentleman named Professor Sid. He apparently created the machines. I don't think Karnak is behind this. Their crystal is now starting to crack. Said something about a fire ship, and there are now monsters on it. We need to find Samuel and get the heck up to that ship.
At this point, Samuel, you look outside and you see all of your friends with guards apparently doing their bidding.
I turn to the woman and be like, how do they mind control them so effectively?
She just kind of looks at you and goes, "I'm sorry, what did you say?"
Just gonna like
Another scone.
be like, I got an idea. Go offer scones to those guards out there and tell me what you hear.
And she looks at you rather odd. Oh, is this sales training? Are you teaching me how to be a saleswoman? Oh,
Yes.
I'm so excited. And she takes her scones out, and you see her go out there, and she offers scones to the guards and to Carrick, John, Arian, and Kyron. You see probably Kyron. Make me a history check.
Okay. History. It's a 5.
Yeah, they look
I'm
real good.
rolling great.
Oh, scones. Oh, those look delicious. Thank you.
And they
Now,
are
if we
also
could only-
really good. Like, these are phenomenally made.
You know who would love these? Samuel would love these. We need to find him so that we can get to the crystal. Delicious. Thank you, man.
I'll go get some more from my house. And you see her
I shall write a song about these scones.
as she comes in. Okay, so one of them mentioned finding Samuel, and the rest of them told me that the scones are amazing.
The guards are still looking?
No,
This
the
isn't
guards
good.
didn't say anything. They didn't even want the scones. It was those blokes over there. And she kind of points to John.
Did she leave the door wide open?
Yes.
Do I take notice of it?
Make me a perception check, Carrick.
I'm in my human form, so this is a straight roll. 19.
You watch her walk back, and then you see just the barest glimpse of Samuel standing there, face palming.
I turn and I walk in, and I'm just like, Samuel.
How do I know this isn't another trick?
I look at him and screw it. I've done this so often. I step into the house so that only her and Samuel can see me, and I turn into Ray, and I'm just waving at him.
And she goes, "Ah!"
Come on, we have to find the fire crystal.
But
And then
you
I
were just
She
arrested.
faints, by the way. She's on the floor.
okay. I just tap her, give her 1 point of lay on hands because I'm a paladin. I'm just like,
She's not
stay alive.
like,
Yeah.
Hurt or anything. She got excited. A person just changed into another person in front of her. Technically,
And then
a
I
dude
turn-
just turned into a sexy lady.
Yeah.
She needs to sleep it off.
I turn into Carrick again and I show him the signet ring. You're from the town, you know what this is.
Yeah, you recognize Signet Ring of the King.
We met somebody in the jail and we kind of have free reign now.
Oh, but I like this tea, I guess.
Take the you to go.
I might even be able to get your medical license back.
Oh. All in the past.
So,
All right, let's
you
go.
guys have found each other again. The guards are ready to take you to the fire ship if you want.
All right.
Is there any prep work you guys want to make?
Do we think we have an hour? Probably
Sure,
not.
if you want your familiar. I am going to say if you change from the warlock, the familiar goes away.
When I change back, would it reappear? No, let's just go.
No.
All right, let's go.
Let's just go.
Onward.
Actually, no. I am gonna. Because it's just an action to recall it, right?
To recall what?
Or to, if the familiar goes away, it's an action to bring it back, right?
Sure, we'll go with that. Again, you're not supposed to be able to change into different characters in this system, so...
So it does say you, as an action, you can dispel it into a pocket dimension, and as an action, you can bring it back.
Okay, so...
So yes, I want to spend an hour and make my raven.
So he's spending an hour terrifying the entire town as he corrupts their sacred fire. Any other prep work you guys want to do?
Nope.
No.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so you guys make it to this very bizarre-looking ship. The weirdest thing about it is it's made almost entirely of metal, and basic logic would state that something this large made entirely of metal should sink. But it's not. It's floating like a regular ship would. And you also notice it has these two kind of like chimneys on it that you would see normally in a house, that all this smoke is coming out of.
Strange.
And the gods go,
Probably.
this is a fire ship. It's connected to the fire crystal, which is underneath Karnak Castle by this big old tube. It draws all the power, but it uses I don't know. It's a fire ship. It's in there. There's monsters in there. There's lots of fire, and it tries to kill you. You're on your own from here on in, and they both leave.
Alright, I turn into Ernest and I'm just like, I guess we have to shut off this ship.
Yeah.
Alliteration is your friend.
Okay, so let's do this.
Yes.
All right. So as you guys kind of start going below deck, you can see the ship itself is really, really warm and is very large. And as you guys kind of wander through to make things easier, and due to the fact that it's very, very late, you make it to the heart of the ship where kind of like the giant engine is, and you see a woman standing there. Samuel and Carrick, you can roll me history checks.
Okay. I am Ernest, so 16.
23.
You guys recognize her immediately because she is she's the queen of Karnak. And it is a very bizarre thing to see the queen outside of the keep. She generally tends to stay there, and to see her at the bottom of a monster-filled ship doesn't make sense at all. What would you guys like to do?
I give her a bow and I show her the second ring, and I'm just like, hello, Your Majesty?
Oh, shut up. Simply not getting enough power here. And you notice that she's manipulating all of these levers and cranks and things on this. And you notice that the engine itself is starting to work harder and harder, and is starting to create more and more heat, and it's getting hotter and hotter in here. Must get more. And she seems to be kind of ignoring you.
My lady, we need to get out of here. We need to shut this machine down
No, we don't.
before it destroys the crystal.
Much more
No.
power. There's not enough power going through it. Much more power. We need all the power. All the power. Fire. Fire will rule all. Fire will cover the earth. And as you see this, you see her eyes start to glow this very... They glow this kind of black color, and her skin starts to glow with this entire... Like her entire body is glowing with this black light as she's just running around and pulling levers and things like that. And you guys watch as this is happening, and the engine itself, you see a little flame burst here and another one here, and the engine itself starts to catch on fire. And you
I
see
take
flames
point.
start erupting from it, and she just keeps pushing it. More power, more fire.
I-
We need more fire.
I
I take-
point at the engine
Mhm.
and I cast Shatter at 3rd level.
Cool. Make
I
me
cast-
a magic attack roll.
Ooh, 11.
So as you sit there and you concentrate, your arm is thrown to the side, and your shatter spell goes to another portion of the engine room and makes this ear-shattering sound that echoes throughout the entire room. Everybody in the room takes 2 thunder damage as the sound is just deafening.
I take a moment and cast greater invisibility on
Before
my Raven.
You were able
Odin.
to do that. You guys hear, so you have attempted to challenge me. And you guys watch as the fire that's starting to envelop the engine forms a hand and then another hand. And you watch it kind of pull itself up, and a head and a torso and 2 legs come out. And this being of pure fire steps down in between you and the queen and goes, "This is going to be fun." And I would like everybody to roll for initiative.
Alright.
Oh, come on.
Are you okay there?
So I roll a natural 1.
All right, give me a couple seconds.
Poor John.
Wait, yeah. If this works, it's going to be really cool.
She's a tiefling.
Eric, what you got?
13.
John?
2.
Oh,
Arian?
11.
Samuel?
20.
Chiron?
18.
Oh, wait.
I got to roll for this too. Of course, because I'm the one rolling.
Oh boy.
My Raven rolled an 8.
Okay. My understanding was familiars go on your turn, don't they?
That works too.
Cool. I don't want another initiative track.
That's
Samuel,
It's probably better.
you are up first. There is a giant creature made of flame, and you see he holds his hand out, and more flames kind of coalesce into this massive, like a curved greatsword that I can't remember what that's actually called. Falchion, there we go.
Knowing that my sorcerer is all fire, I'm going to use my bonus action to become the cleric.
Okay.
And sure, because it'll cause destruction, it'll be funny. I'm gonna do ice storm centered on him.
Okay. That will, because you guys are what's the radius of that?
20-foot radius.
Yeah, you guys would be in it, and so would the queen.
Okay, in that case, I will not do that. I'll try something. I'll try and what's the range on Dispel Magic?
It's at least
120 feet, okay.
Yeah, it's 30 feet.
I'll try Dispel Magic on the queen.
Cool. Make me a magic attack roll.
What is this person's magic attack? +5, okay. Okay,
What's his charisma?
it's cleric now. 23.
So as you sit there and you concentrate, you get this image in your mind of the queen standing there, and above her in this void of darkness, you see two giant hands with two like cross things, basically controlling her like a marionette. And as you sit there and you concentrate, you cut two of the 8 strings that are currently attached to her, controlling her movements, using your Dispel Magic.
That's my turn. I'm out of actions.
Yeah. Unless you want to move. You still have a move.
No, I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay. Brings us to Kyron.
Seeing this massive thing of fire crawl out of seemingly nowhere,
It's
I
now
look at
kind
my-
of coalesced, and it's now this red-skinned creature that's still very, very large. But every so often you'll see flame just kind of burst from its skin.
and I look at him and I say, "You won't like me when I'm angry, and you just made me angry." And I turn bonus action into the
Barbarian?
this barbarian
Okay.
and go into a rage. Is that still a bonus action, or is that?
Going into a rage is a bonus action, so you wouldn't be able to do it this turn.
Okay. I'll
But
just
you
make.
are the barbarian right now, and you still have your action and your movement.
So that's one attack, or is that 2 attacks with a great axe?
2.
Yeah, at that
Two.
point you have 2 attacks.
So I'm gonna make 2 attacks at him.
Yep.
First one is
And you can still do reckless attack without being enraged, if I remember correctly.
I believe you also have Great Weapon Master.
yeah. So I'm doing making it great weapons, which means I have advantage. So that will still stay the same. So it's is it okay? This is my first time as the barbarian. So is it great axe is +8, the great weapon master is +3? Do I add those 2 together?
Great Weapon Master, I factored that in. It's just +3 if you do that because you're subtracting the 5 from the 8.
Oh,
I was trying
that's
to
right.
keep it simpler.
Thank you. Okay. So that's 19.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
Okay. Let's see. D12. 9. 24.
Oh, math is hard. So you come up and you swing your great axe at this creature, and as you cut into it, this burst of flame shoots out of it.
And go for a second attack.
Yeah, I was just seeing if it hurts you or not, and it doesn't. Cool.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
second
go for a
attack.
second attack.
It's 21.
Another hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And that is again 24.
Alright, give me 2 seconds while I go to... You said 24, right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so you take another big chunk out of this guy, and he cries out in pain, but looks ready to kill. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I'm going to back up just where I'm on the edge of the of his, where I won't get attack of opportunity on me.
You're actually not 100% sure. It looks like he's got pretty decent reach, but you've never fought someone like this, so you're actually not sure where you can go to where you wouldn't get attacked, you wouldn't get an AO.
Okay.
You're. I'll let you choose. You can stay right next to him, or you can move back, however many feet you want. Just tell me what you want to do.
I'll back up 5 feet.
Okay. As you back up, he takes a swing at you.
All right.
That's a high number plus another high number. 28.
That hits.
13 slashing damage plus 7 fire damage.
So 20. Okay, wow. All
As
right.
he cuts into you pretty deeply.
Okay.
After you hit him twice, you see him start concentrating, and he thrusts his hand out, and you watch as this bolt of fire starts heading for the rest of the party and then sails over their heads and lands behind the entire party. And the fire just sits there burning and then gets bigger and bigger, and you see arms sprout from it and a torso, and this creature of fire appears behind the party. But it's not its turn right now. So, Carrick, there is now a fire elemental behind you, and some bizarre red-screened creature made of fire in front of you. What do you want to do?
I look at the fire elemental, I look at the red-skinned creature, and so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cast haste on myself.
Okay.
And then
That's your
bonus action, I turn into Ray.
Okay.
And then I rush the big red-skinned creature.
Okay. You still have your haste action.
I strike at it.
Go for it.
13 plus 4 plus 19.
19's a hit. Roll damage.
And use a first level spell slot to smite him. Is he a demon or is he a fiend or an undead?
He is not.
Alright. 4, 5, plus 3. 12 slashing and 13, so 25 total.
So as you guys watch, Carrick becomes blinding fast and then transforms into the sexy paladin, runs over, takes a slash that flashes with this bright light, and the creature howls in pain. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Nope, that's everything.
Arian. Because I roll like crap for initiative.
So I use the bonus action to the
Gotcha.
and then I fire my longbow at
You got a elemental behind you and big red skin creature in front of you.
I fire my longbow at the red creature.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Crit fail.
So the arrow just misses completely. Now, do you have multiple attacks or just one?
Far I know I only have one.
Okay. So, that's bonus action. Do you want to move at all?
No, I'll stay where I am.
Cool. The giant creature. Is going to take a swing at the dude that just attacked him. He's going to move
That's
forward
me.
10 feet and take a swing at the guy that did the most damage to him. And he has advantage on these attacks.
Oh, yay. That's me. Okay.
Okay.
27,
Oh, yeah. Well, that hits.
13 slashing, 7 fire.
Oh, 20. Okay.
Yeah, next time that'll actually matter. So I don't think you have Bear Totem in this barbarian, do you?
Yeah, I think. And it would, yeah.
You're not raging at the moment, though.
No,
I know.
yeah, so I'm not raging. Yeah,
So it doesn't matter this turn, but next turn it will.
yeah.
22.
It gets me again.
Yep.
Yeah, that hits.
Another 20 damage total. Before you start raging, find out if you have Bear Totem, because either you will take half damage from just the slashing or half damage from
Yes,
everything.
pass on the Bear Totem.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So, that ends his turn. That brings us to
Looking
John.
nice.
Okay. I kind of, I focus my energy and I cast Banishment on the big red thing. Or I try to cast
Damn.
Banishment on the big red thing.
Whoa.
Okay.
I
what's the
thought
spell
it
save
was-
DC?
16. And it's a
what-
charisma saving throw.
It's charisma. Cool. Do you actually have? You have a good charisma saving throw. He chooses to make that save.
Legendary resistance.
Oh, crap.
Curse you!
Funny thing is, he's got a +7 charisma saving throw, and I still can't beat that. So you sit there, you concentrate on this banishment spell, and you see it start to work, and you start to shift him to another plane of existence, and then he just looks at you, and kind of the chains that you're wrapping around him to banish him just shatter instantly. Anything else you want to do?
That'll be my turn.
All right. That brings us back to the top of the order. Samuel.
So I'm going to do something similar, but I'm going to banish the fire elemental behind us.
All right. What's your
13
spell
is
save?
the spell save.
It's 13. Oh, good. Because, well, that dude had a great saving throw. For some odd reason, fire elementals not as high on the charisma chart.
Oh.
They have. I'm actually looking to see. No, they don't have any special saving throws. Does a 0 saving throw?
I think it's close, but no.
So stupid. All right. So the elemental goes right after you. Is there anything for the banishment spell? Do they get to repeat the save or anything like that?
It's
On their
just
turn?
concentration up to a minute.
Okay, cool.
They must succeed or be banished.
Gotcha. So, well, that changes things slightly, but not by much. Or is there anything else you want to do?
No, because I don't really can't cast another spell, so.
Kyron.
I go into a rage,
Okay.
obviously, and I take 2 swings at him.
Okay.
First one is, it's the advantage, right? 16.
It's a miss. As you bring it down, he brings his falchion over and just bats it away like it's nothing.
Are you reckless attacking?
Yeah, that was with advantage. One is, this is math. 18.
That does hit. Roll damage.
Okay. Uh, 28.
So your first attack gets batted away by him. You take you spin around and you strike it, and it digs deep into him. As you pull it away, you can see these little droplets of what looks like lava or magma dripping from him, sizzling as they hit the ground and slowly cooling.
Oh, sorry, no. That's 30. I forgot. I didn't see the rage damage is +2, so it's 30 total.
Same description because
Okay, yeah.
points doesn't change much, or 2 points doesn't
Yeah.
change much. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No, I'm good.
Awesome. Then on his turn, faster than you think he should be able to move, he turns into kind of a column of flame and dashes over right next to... Who was it that just vanished? Was that Samuel?
That was
Yeah.
Samuel.
Yeah. So he turns into a column of flame and dashes over to Samuel and just appears
I
in
don't-
front of him.
I don't get an attack of opportunity or anything.
No.
Okay.
Legendary actions are awesome.
Yeah.
And that brings us to Carrick.
Okay, I have a move speed of 60 right now. Can I reach him?
Easily.
Okay, I get to him and I point at him and I say, "My God will enjoy you." And that is my, what's that paladin thing that they get?
Oh, Oath of, or Vow of...
Vow of Enmity. Yeah, that's my bonus action.
Cool.
Action, and hasted action are all attacks, so 3
Go
attacks
for
at advantage. Let's go.
He doesn't seem to particularly like you.
16 plus 6 is 22.
Good.
Smiting him. 3, 9, 12, 7, 1, 8, 20 damage.
Okay.
Second attack is a 21 to hit.
Another hit.
Another first level smite, so I'm down to one of those spell slots left. 5, 9, 12, 2, 4, 16.
Okay.
And final attack, Nat 20, second level smite. Let's go.
Go for it.
So, 4, 6, 3, 9, 10, so 13, 8, 13, so 20.
Math is hard, kids. Stay in school.
26 plus 6 is 32, and then 3 more d6. 36, 44,
44.
50 damage.
50?
Yep.
All right, so you guys watch as Carrick with blinding speed rushes past, goes in for one attack and sinks in pretty deep. The Ifrit bats his blade out of his skin without even missing a beat. Carrick spins around and gets another cut on the Afridi's leg as he kind of cripples down. Carrick goes one more time and thrusts it right into the stomach of the Afridi. You can see the Afridi's eyes in pain as fire is just shooting out of every orifice he can see. But he's still upright. And very quickly he turns around and takes a swing at Samuel. 24.
You rolled too high, I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. Then you take 400 fire damage and can never play D&D again. 13 slashing damage, 7 fire damage. And I need a concentration check from you.
Constitution. That would be 16.
You're fine. I don't think this is going to last much longer. Arian!
Yeah. My bonus action, I will cast a mark
Okay,
on the red creature,
he is marked.
and I will fire my longbow at him.
Okay,
13.
13 is a miss. Arrow goes.
You have a second attack, right? Because you're a ranger.
Oh, boy. I never.
He's Unearthed Arcana Ranger. Depending on which version he took, he may not
Oh.
have extra attack.
Are you Beastmaster or no?
I don't know what that is.
Here, let me look up the character real quick.
Oh, I see it a bigger that the
It's Deep Stalker.
If you're Deep Stalker, you have 2 attacks.
I don't believe so. Yeah, extra attack. You do. You can attack twice instead of once on your turn. So go ahead and make another attack.
15.
Misses again.
Okay.
He is out of legendary actions right now. However, it's his turn.
Yeah.
2 attacks against Samuel. 22.
That hits, yes.
20 damage and a concentration check.
Uh, 19.
27.
That hits.
20 damage and a concentration check.
Doesn't matter, unconscious.
The fire elemental appears again.
2 more HP and I'd be conscious.
Doesn't really have a good bonus action, does it? Yeah, no. He is. Yeah, he's just gonna stand there. John, you're up. Fire elemental is back.
Oh.
The large red dude looks rough.
I am going to. I'm going to use Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Oops.
On who?
On the big red guy.
Go for it.
You should have 2 beams at that level.
Okay. So I like shake my shoulder and cast the Raven off, and I cast the Eldritch Blast through the Raven. So there should be 2 beams.
Yep. So 2 attacks.
Yep. Ooh, first one is 25 to hit.
Definitely hit. Roll damage.
So D10.
And then, yeah. So that 8 on the first one.
Okay.
And then 23 to hit.
Definitely a hit. Roll damage.
6.
How do you want to do this?
And then for my bonus action, I'm going to turn my staff into a shillelagh.
How do you want to do this?
Oh, sorry, I missed that part.
Sorry.
I just want the Eldritch Blast from my Raven Odin to just hit him in the chest and just make the fire explode out in a cloud of smoke. I turn it into just black smoke.
Okay. So you guys watch as Odin, the Raven, flies up and starts circling around, and in one circle shoots this beam of eldritch energy out of its eyes and smacks the creature on the shoulder, and it kind of flies past, and the giant creature takes this big swing with his falchion, missing completely. The Raven comes back around, and you see him just laser eye hit him right in the center. And you watch as his chest kind of condenses in, and you see, because you guys can only see his back, you see flames shoot out of the back of him as the Raven flies through, doing a little bit of like a corkscrew barrel roll on his way through.
Yeah!
And you hear... Enough of that. So as you do that, you watch the engine itself kind of explode, and the queen is sent flying towards you guys. since I'm going to assume Chiron is probably in the front. Chiron, she kind of falls into you, and you catch her. And as you're sitting there holding her, the kind of black glow around her subsides, and she kind of looks up at you. What's happened? Where am I?
Me no.
At this point, I reach down, touch Samuel, lay on hands for 10 HP.
Samuel, you're conscious again.
All right.
After,
I did a whole lot that fight.
After asking those questions, she turns. She goes, "The crystal. You must. Darkness. Evil." And she
We need
kind
to
of
shut
looks
the
up into
machine
your eyes,
down.
Chiron. Protect it. And then she passes out.
Where is this crystal at?
You guys see a tunnel of metal running from where the engine used to be out of the ship and into something that you can't really see. But it goes a long ways.
Well, I'm going to do a mass healing word at 4th level so that we are not completely gimped in the next possible fight.
Okay.
Does that heal an additional D4? Yes, okay. I'll let you guys know in a second. I gotta dig out a D4. I didn't plan this part.
So as he's doing that, you guys hear some movement behind you, and you see the man that came down to basically get you guys out of jail, and a group of guards come in, and you see,
Oh, cool.
Queen Conic, oh my! And he runs over immediately and kind of cradles her a little bit, and he kind of turns to you. What happened?
There was a beast. She seemed to be controlled by some magic as I put Ray's greatsword back into place. And I'm just like, yeah, there was a fight. The machine seemed to explode. We need to get down to the crystal now.
Well, you see him kind of point to two of the guards. Go with them. Help them however they need. I will stay with the queen. Make sure she's all right. And so two very large refrigerator-shaped guards come up to you guys.
All right, let's head down.
We
All right.
need to get to the crystal.
It takes a good 15 minutes to walk down this very large tube. The tube itself is slowly cooling. Like, as you guys step on it, your boots sizzle a little bit. Like, this was superheated metal at one point. But you guys
I'm a
eventually
teacher.
make it into a room. You guys see a light, kind of a red light, coming from the other end of this tunnel. You eventually open up into this room. And you can see floating there in the middle is the Crystal of Fire, which has quite a few cracks. And you can see the tunnel that you guys are coming out of looks like it can actually extend and connect to the base of the crystal. And you see two other tunnels on the left and the right of the crystal that currently are not connected to it. But again, look like they can extend and connect to the base of what the crystal is kind of floating over. And you can see along the back wall there's a bunch of levers and things like that and other things. But the crystal itself seems to be damaged, but not destroyed right now. What do you guys want to do?
Do you want to approach everyone?
We should see if there's any machine or wires still connected. You said all the three pipes look like they're disconnected, correct?
Yeah, there's
no
a good
other
10 feet of space between the end of the pipe and the connector where it would connect to the base.
Okay.
All right.
So as you guys step forward, you start to feel that familiar feeling that you felt at every other crystal, where just the sheer kind of power of the crystal is there. And you see on the inside of the crystal a figurine, almost looking like it's made of pure fire, that kind of coalesces into a feminine shape. kind of looks there, and you can see this. The expression on her face is hard to tell, but it looks like this intense sadness. And you see her mouth moving, but you can't hear anything. What would you like to do?
I mean, I'm going to turn into Ernest and see if mending would help. I don't know, because there's not much I can think do.
Okay. So you come up and you place your hand on the crystal, and as you start to focus on the mending spell, you can feel the power going and kind of returning back into your hand. The crystal is such a powerful source of magic that there's no way that your mending spell could do anything to it. It's so far beyond your capabilities to do anything to this. As you guys are sitting there, there's a door on the other side of the room that opens, and you see this creature come out, and it walks upright and has hands and everything, but its head looks to be that of a wolf, and its arms are covered in thick fur. And as it comes in, it locks eyes with one of the guards and just runs directly into one of the guards and like shoulder charges him into the wall, where he collapses to the ground. Without stopping, he runs through the group, pulls out a sword, and drives it into the chest of one of the guards. And as you guys see him pull the sword, you see him cut his thumb as he pulls the sword, and the sword erupts into this blue flame. And as he hits it, you guys feel the air get colder as he swings the blade and plunges it into the chest of this guard. And the guard kind of looks, lets out this breath that you can see almost like he's standing in a freezer or something. And you see ice crystals start to form in his face, and he falls to the ground. And the creature goes, pulls the sword out, wipes the crystallized blood off of it, and returns it to its scabbard as he looks at you guys and goes, "So, what I miss?"
Who are you?
Who are you?
And why did you just kill them?
What are you talking about?
You just murdered those two guards.
Who are you again?
Chiron. Come on.
Just for the sake of conversation, I referred back to Chiron himself and asked, "How do you know me?"
What are you talking about? We grew up together. We're protecting the crystals. You don't you know who I am?
No. Can I insight check him?
Sure.
Well, I know nothing. That's a nat 1. So.
Yeah, you don't know him, and trying to figure out if a wolf creature is lying is remarkably difficult.
Yeah.
I being earnest, like a memory jogs to me when he cut his finger on the blade, and I'm just like, that's a power strangely similar to my friend Brahms. Are you a blood hunter?
What the hell is going on?
What's your name?
I'm Matthias. I've known Chiron for 20 years. I sent him to find you guys. What the hell is going on here? Carrick, what about the other crystals?
How do you know my name? Anyway, the wind crystal and the water crystal both broke. That's how we have
see
our
his
power.
face just kind of fall. The world can't survive without. And suddenly you guys hear a clicking sound. And from across the room you see a guard that apparently entered through the same door that Matthias did pull one of the levers down, and the machinery around you hums to life, and you watch the first pipe on the left connect to the bottom of the crystal, and then you watch the pipe on the right connect to the crystal, and the pipe that you guys just came from starts moving forward, and without missing a beat, Matthias goes forward and jumps and holds on to the pipe itself, kind of pushing against it. Get out of here! When that crystal goes, this room is gone.
Shit.
I turn back into the to the barbarian and help him hold it.
As he
Could
sits
I-
there, as you start to hold it, he turns to you and slaps you across the face, open-handed. Don't you understand? I can't do anything. You guys are the Crystal Warriors. Protect the Earth Crystal. Go now. We can't stop this.
Samuel, can you make other people fly?
Yeah.
If I don't
but-
I don't
hold
know
this
about
here, you
Samuel.
can't outrun the explosion. Go
Okay.
now. And he points to the
I-
door he came from.
I cast fly on myself and Carrick, and
I'll just
I Superman out the door.
switch to the sorcerer and cast fly at 4th level on myself and Arian.
And then I'll cast fly at 3rd level on Chiron. Let's go.
Alright.
5
Okay.
people flying. Let's go.
Alright.
All right, so you guys leave, and you see him slowly being pushed towards the crystal as you guys go out, and you basically fly up a bunch of stairs. Realize you are underneath the castle at that point, and just to move things along as quickly as possible, you get out of the castle just as the entirety of the keep explodes. And you see shards of the castle go flying overhead. And as you guys are standing there, hold please.
Chiron, who was that? That was very strange.
You're telling me? I have no idea.
4 shards of the crystal land near you guys.
Okay, I float over and pick them up.
And you hear this voice in your head: the spirit of warriors long past give you their powers. Blood Hunter, Dragon Knight, Gunslinger, and Mystic. And that is where we're going to end it for tonight. So, thank you for those of you that were watching. We went really, really late tonight. We normally don't go this late. But thank you so much for watching. I do upload these all to my YouTube channel, so if you want to see any of this little kind of one-shot that's been taking a lot more than one shots, if you want to see the other episodes of it, this is episode 3. It's on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TrainerJody. If you want to see these guys normally play in the Tyranny of Dragons campaign, we have all the episodes of that going back a full year on there as well. And I have my own custom campaign on there called the King of the Kale Isles. Otherwise, follow me on Twitter. I'm at TrainerJody there. Follow me here on Twitch. I stream every Tuesday night, and yeah, that's all for me today. I'll see you guys next time. All right. Bye bye.